right, and we are live. Good afternoon, world. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Bantu TV podcast, which we bring out to you every Sunday, right around this time. And it's 19 Zambian time. It's two.
I'm hearing background music. Is it coming from me or what?
It's coming from you, actually. I'm not playing any music right now, am I? No, I'm not. It's coming from you. And Bakazia is back. Anyway, what was I saying? Good afternoon, world, and welcome to Bantu TV, where we dissect the most trending news from the motherland, give our own take and opinions every Sunday. And my name is Kalinda Shikinda. Here I right center, and I'll pass on the baton to the most handsome man, as Lady Sarah says. He looks like an African American. Olivia, take it away with your Vuvuzela, please. We're going to go with the man behind the podcast about Francis Combe, Lady Sarah, and of course, Bakazia Studio Vuvuzela. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chanda Chilufia, broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the beautiful podcast that we discuss trending topics in the motherland, Zambia. And we thank you for your valued time that you of course, sacrificing out of your busy schedule to come and tackle these topics. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I pass it on to you back, Kalinda.
Vakombe.
Emcol.
Go ahead with your Vuvuzelas of the day.
Well, thank you so much wherever you're joining us. Just glad to be on the show. Thank you, Akalinda. Thank you, Vachanda, and to all, to both our guests. Welcome. And I'm just glad to be here this morning.
Great! The lady of substance, the one and only Lady Sarah. Take it away.
Good morning, good evening, Zambia. My name is Sarah, and I'm in Seattle right now. And I would like to participate in this, podcast. And we just look at events that are happening in our country, Zambia. Thank you so much for your time. We don't take it for granted. Thank you.
Great. And the man, the enigma, the one and only, our resident PS. Take it away with your Vuvuzelas, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Kazia Chanda. I am having this conversation from New Brunswick in Canada. So I hope to have a wonderful interaction with all of you.
Great. All right. Without much ado, shall we start with this is a term that the president of the Republic of Zambia doesn't like to use. That's what the rest of the country famously refer to these people. They're small-scale miners, but they are popularly known as the Jirabos. On the Copper Belt, running riots, rackets on the Copper Belt, because the government has moved into the Black Mountain, trying to formalize it and legalize it to avoid, these accidents that we witnessed in the last year, where at least 35 young men died because of safety issues at that dumping site, where they go and try to retrieve whatever minerals they can get to sell on a small scale level. And we saw the police move in, arresting about 62. There were incidents of looting, businesses losing, goods and services and money. Gentlemen, is this the Zambia we want, where people are just never going to accept the law of the land? That, yeah, you're mining, but it has to be done legally. I mean, you may have you definitely have a reason to do what you want to do, but it should be under the laws of the country, right? Oh, and here is the man who came in last week, Mr. Raphael Bosch. Welcome back to the podcast.
Money. UPND chaps.
Mr. Bosch.
From America.
Okay. Now we just mute him. Not ready yet. Anyway, what was my question before I was trying to bring him in? Okay. Back to the small-scale miners, popularly known as the Jirabos. That behavior that they exhibited on the
Kalinda, can the music be muted, please?
I'm not playing any music.
Yeah,
And-
the music is playing.
And not only that, Sister Kalinda, you sound like a white lady. Can you amplify your voice? Or you are very, maybe you are away from your mic a little bit. Some of us, we have dementia, our ears are not all that.
All right, can you hear me now?
We can, but we can also hear the music.
Who is playing the music?
I am not the one playing the music.
Who started the I think Abachamba host? You can
I'm
mute
the
something.
host.
Yeah, try and mute something.
Okay, let me mute myself. Was the music playing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want us to log off and come back in? Because it's just playing. Okay, now it's gone.
Now it's gone.
Yeah.
Was that me or what?
It might be you, but the music is gone now.
Yeah, because I logged out to try to find out where it's coming from.
Yeah, that was you.
Balepo ku hacking aba bambala ba PF. Tamwakwanishe bani.
No, it's me.
PF bali mikola bachandai.
Ndawa kwata fofe. You see, Milandile Yaifi.
Yeah,
Didn't we have
we
one
haven't
aside?
even gotten started yet. We haven't even gotten started yet. Look at what's happening.
I'm
All
have
right.
UPND. I have
All right, let me bring in let me also reintroduce the one and only the man who is probably at a looking at the Atlantic Ocean right now. Doc, welcome back. You're
Hello,
welcome, please.
hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm nowhere near the beach this time around. I'm indoors. It's raining.
That's
It's raining.
First. That
raining.
Okay, I see. I was like, that's a first on a Sunday. Anyway, let me bring in also Mr. Mosey. Are you ready for us now? How are you, Madam? Okay, he's not ready yet. Anyway, shall we start? I was talking about the breaking news out of the copper belt this week. The small-scale miners, popularly known as the Jirabos, the behavior. Gentlemen, your thoughts. Shall we start with the man that knows the mining sector like the back of his wonderful head, Vakazia? Your comment on the riots on the copper belt as we saw this past week. Looting because the government moved in to try to regulate the Black Mountain. Your comment.
I think there has been a very big mishandling of the problem that is on the copper belt.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the mines are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
For Chingola specifically, because I think I had been to that mine. I was part of the team when the mine was being handed over to the liquidator. I was there. I was in that team. And what I saw is that the Zambians there really want to take control. They want to take control of things so that it should be bringing out benefits to the Zambians. The challenge that KCM has is the challenge of crookedness. And this I've spoken, I think you colleagues here know from the day one, I was against giving this mine back to Vendetta because they are very, very crooked. They always should cut our people. They will tell the suppliers this, they do the opposite. And remember, I indicated to you colleagues here that usually they will give one supplier an order. When he's supplied half and they're about to pay him full, they don't pay him in full. When he starts to push, they sideline him, they bring another one, and they keep on doing that. Now, this has affected the mining growth, the growth of that mine. And now, people not having access to the mine, they started to resort to the dumps. The Zambians, the youth, they started going to the dumps. And I remember when they started going to the dumps, they were not going into the mine, the open pit mine itself. They were going to the dumps, the one where we have put the overburden called the Black Mountains, like you see, the one that was in Tingo, in Kitwe. So they started going there to scavenge and get, things, and they started, uh, working with the Chinese, because usually what they get there, the raw material they get, they will take them to the Chinese for processing. And they started making money. And that is how you see that trend started to grow. The president indicated in his address to them that he was going to give them licenses, he was going to support them in terms of machinery, and they were going to mine in a safe and better environment. So they did not stop. So they kept going on there. When the dam sites became a heaven of, safety for everybody in as far as the income was concerned, it grew out of proportion. And that is now, you said they started now tampering with the big overburden of the mine now, because KCM was not doing the underground work or open pit mine. They started working on those and just processing. So this has been a time bomb. It is a time bomb because of the policies that we have not adequately dealt with in as far as the benefits that they would see in that line. So that is my assumption about that. I hope that government now can work around that and do as they said they would do. If they don't do that, it's going to be a big problem, a social problem that is going to be quite difficult to handle.
Great. Let me bring in who is this? Mr. Mbozi, are you able to contribute? I know you are somewhere in Zambia. The riots on the Copper Belt by the Jirabos. What's your comment on that? Probably having network issues. Okay, we lost him.
Can I come in?
Yeah, come on in, Mibakombe. Come in, please. Chime in. What your thoughts there, please?
Thank you so much, Wakalinda. I would like to slightly disagree with PS. I think he's overreaching when he says this problem is because of the failed policies of the president. He's actually saying that without saying it. To me, this problem has everything to do with enforcement, nothing to do with the investor. We shouldn't even bring in the investor. When the president came in, he made it, he pronounced it very clearly. He's not going to allow such things. The youths were going to be given projects and licenses so they can start doing the operations. This is something that the president has done. The issue here is enforcement. It has nothing to do with the president, nothing to do with the investor. The president issued an order and it hasn't been followed. The people on the ground on the Copper Belt should have enforced this from the jump. When the youths were given licenses to take part of the minerals that were left in the Black Mountains, the mine police then, I don't know if they're there. When I was growing up, we had the mine police. They should have enforced this to make sure that there was zero illegal mining. That's where we need to go. Zero illegal mining. It's gonna have a pinch, but over time people get used to it. It should be the law. Now, if you find corrupt practices going on, where people are supposed to enforce the law are corrupt and they're allowing a few people to do all these illegal things, before time, you're going to find masses of the youth now engaging into this. So this, if I'm State House, I'm cracking the whip. Whoever was responsible is accountable. It's either remove them, bring in somebody who's going to enforce the law. Because there's no reason why the president should be blamed. The president gave the youth the license. The president let the youth have a piece of the cake when it comes to the mines. So it's just, if I'm the political advisor to the president, I'm going back to him and telling him, Mr. President, we need to reshuffle some people so that we have people who can enforce the law. That's where the problem is. It's nothing to do with the president, nothing to do with the investor. Like Azila was very much trying to bring in the investor so that the administration looks back. But I want to say clearly that this is just an enforcement issue, and I think it will be corrected. And Minister Kabuswe, being from that province, he's from Chilabombwe, but he's close. He should enforce this on the ground. The president said he wants to see leadership. I think this is a challenge now for Minister Kabuswe and the Copperbelt Minister himself to team up and make sure that enforcement is done.
Oh, great. But Sophia, your take before we
just to add on what Bakombe is saying, those dump sites, Kitwe, if you go to Kitwe, you see them, Black Mountain. I remember years back when I was going to visit my grandfather. I never knew what it was, actually. I was like, so I was asking him one time, we're in the bus, and we could see all these huge mountains, looking black. I was like, what is all this? Why is this mountain looking like this? Then he told me these are the dump sites. When the mines are, have finished mining or whatever, the waste, the residues, that's where they go and dump those items, those residues. Now, inside there, they still have minerals. And it's still part of the mining company operating in that area. It's still part of their property. So, they're illegally mining those items. And it's been allowed for years and years and years just to please the Copperbelt, the youth, and stuff like that. But the current government came up with a proper strategy to say, can we legalize this? Okay? Because there's no way a real organization or a party or government can allow such illegality to be continuing happening for years and years and years. You see? We don't want them to start suing the government or start suing us. So let's legalize it. So that's why these mining licenses and they've provided a lot of mining licenses. But the problem is this. They needed to go down to those Jirabos to explain to them how to acquire those licenses, educate them on how to do it, help them. Because they just used, to them, if you ask them, any mining license, fish if you tatu fish if twaichape kuingira pabwendo chapa twaingira pabwendo twasendo mukuba wafumako. You see, that's how the mentality is. But now we're trying to inculcate, this government is trying to inculcate a way more processed and legalized way of doing things by providing licenses. So that's where there's this confusion. The tragedy that just happened, we all saw that. Some bodies may still be inside those still trapped there because it was raining and it's still raining. So the government said, can you wait until the rain is up? Not until proper safer mining operations are instituted and you guys start doing things legally. Then you can go and mine. But them, because so that's where the problem is. So the only disadvantage or the only problem I saw is the citizens, criminals. That was lawlessness. You cannot go.
Absolutely.
You cannot go business yaba neighbor bobe. Just because of saying I thought it could riot. Riot, nikuma mining is between the mining na Majarabo. It's not in the community. But I'm only even neighbor bobe, neighbor auntie bobe. They have got families to feed. And those are the same shops you go to buy. Why are you going to loot the same place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was very, unwelcome or sad thing to see in my eyes. And I think the Jerabos should be taken to task and and those leaders, the government should tell them to go and refund those shops that were looted, because it's them that did this. If it wasn't for them, this wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So they should go and refund them. The Jerabos, they've got money, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They can easily do it in one day.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they are fighting for this, because they know they're missing that good life. That's why bareseka bale imwe muli tuwe batikabye ni ku CDF ifo mule muna wati tupange ndalama shingi tuye mkulima pansi mtufoleshe 30 kwacha. That's a joke to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I raised my case.
All right. I mean, it was sad to see, people, getting into people's shops and coming out with bags of meal, cooking all. I'm like, what's going on here? Lady Sarah, the lady of substance, your take on the small scale miners' actions and behavior on the copper belt where they looted, and now we have 62 of them in arrested. Your comment, Lady Sarah.
Yeah, so like for me, if I'm a mine, yeah. Sometimes I fail to what to say, because this thing of the Jerabos and everything, it has been happening since time of memorial. And the Jerabos, and when the society is under a lot of stress and poverty, anything can happen. You find that I'm a riot, like you are saying. I've heard about you if you're saying that riot yachitikire kuria. People react in many ways. Even here in the United States, you find that something happens somewhere, but Namambi was react from somewhere. So it's all about our economies. It's not doing very well. That's why people, they are just doing all sorts of things. I'm sorry, I'm babysitting. That's why you cannot even see on the camera. Hey, can you keep quiet? I won't say much, but if some people have been caught and they're in prison, they need to face the law. Thank you.
Great. And now the man in Puerto Rico, Doc. Your comment on the riots by the Jirabos on the Copper Belt.
Thanks. For me, the Kitwe riots, so-called Kitwe riots, it's a two-sided story here. It started with the suppliers that were protesting. Those were more organized and reasonable people. The suppliers were caught that they were doing something wrong. It's them actually that were to be blamed instead of the management of the mines. They were not doing their part, so to speak. They were supplying substandard items. So from the suppliers, I think the momentum shifted to these Jerabos. Now, for me, the Jerabos, to me, are for all the past few years, many years, I don't really like the fact that the Jerabos have been used by governments. They exploit them politically. They're used for two things there. They pretend that we're trying to empower the youths, but the truth is that they want just to collect their support, because those guys are very influential. Wherever they live, they're very influential. So there are two facets here. The government pretends that we're trying to encourage the Black Mountain thing for youth empowerment processes, but at the end of the day, at the back of their mind, they know that they're trying to exploit these guys for political mileages. Talking about the current government, the UPND government actually is the government that has that has really put in place regulations that are supposed to make these operations at the Black Mountains more organized. There's been no government in the past that has done what UPND has done so far. What they've done, they're trying to, as Wakazia might not be aware that these Jerabos now, yes, the government promised that they will give them licenses. They have given them licenses, Wakazia. They have done it. They have given them licenses through what they call community youth empowerment cooperatives. They're encouraging them to come together as a group, and then they've given them the licenses to mine as a team. Okay, so this has never ever happened before. It's the European government that has done it. Okay, so these youths, yes, they were promised licenses. The licenses have been given to them through their community projects. They call them community projects or community cooperatives. The government of UPND has also organized this Black Mountain thing by engaging an organized company that now receives these minerals from these jaribus through the private sector partnership. So they are selling these things to the company that is recycling them. The company used to be there before, but they have entered a new agreement with the government of the day to make sure that these youth cooperatives are serviced or they are saved. To me, the most important thing is, as my colleague has said there before, previously, I think the enforcement of the law. There are people that have licenses and they're supposed to. They have the rights and to go there and do the mining. They've been trained. The safety aspect of it. You have to wear this and that and observe certain things. But then there's those that do not follow the law. They just wake up in the night and they are off to do things illegally. So I think the enforcement should be, as my colleague has said, should be enforced. Only those people that have licenses and their cooperatives should be allowed to go there because they have been trained. They have been told what to look for. If there's heavy downpour, don't go there. They have to go. The inspectors have to go and check whether the mountains are stable or not and all that type of thing. So things are okay on paper, but I think the enforcement is not happening. But let's just educate these youths that if something happens like that, let's not involve, because there was a mixture of two communities there. There were those that are really legal jaribus and those that were illegal jaribus. Those are the ones that went and started looting stuff and all that. So I think blaming the government is not the right thing to do, but I think the enforcement needs to be looked at because the government has done its part as they promised these jaribus. They have done it. But it's only that the enforcement of the law down there is not happening, allowing these illegal jaribus to join the legal ones. And that's a problem.
Great. Thank you, Doc. And on that note, we bring back Wachanda Kazia, who has a rebuttal to Wakombe's statement. Kazia, your rebuttal, please.
Firstly, what I was giving was an overview of how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think Wakombe quickly ran into blaming the government. Every government is blamed because they're the ones that are supposed to control everything that is happening in that space.
Mm-hmm.
You can't blame people that are not in government. It doesn't work that way because people are paid. They're in those offices enjoying taxpayers' money to fix problems, not to shift problems. If the government has done what it has done, we can't be where we are at.
Mm-hmm.
It is never a responsibility of the Jerabos to provide security for themselves. It is us to guide them. It's government to guide them. You will be in this space. And if you do not confine yourself to this space, the necessary laws will take effect. And you make sure you enforce the effect. To enforce is a government program. And if it does not work out, all things point to the presidency. In Zambia, unfortunately, elsewhere, we would have been pointing at the minister. In Zambia, our political system and the way we debate things, if someone makes a mistake, if a minister makes a mistake, who do we blame? We blame the presidency. It has been happening like that for over the years. Now, what I meant was there was a meeting at Community House where the president said, we will provide with you licenses, we will provide you with equipment, we will provide you with training for safe mining. so that you do the safe mining. Now, he's made a pronouncement like that. I am not expecting to physically see the president on site doing that. No, I do not. I'm expecting his operatives to run with that program and to ensure that they report back with statistics of what they've done. Oh, we have empowered so many Jerabos. These are so many communities. This is the equipment that we have given them. These are areas where they work. These are areas they will not work. That information must be public. The problem which I see when we go into the mining sector is we take politics there, whereby if I am from PF or I'm from Tonse or I'm from socialist, I cannot talk about it or I can't condemn what is bad about it. Then I'm wrong. I don't mean well. It's something we must drop. What is happening there is not right for anybody. Whether a person is UPND, is PF, is what, it is not right. It's not right. If the president has made the pronouncements you've made, why is it not happening? Why is he not cracking the whips for those that should be able to see it happen? Why should we have a riot? Then we go and blame people that are dissenting to something that is not working out. When people go on a riot or people reject something or people get upset, it is not time to first of all, you must contain that and then go to the root cause. What is causing people to be dissatisfied and react in that way and address that? If you do not address that, you quickly go there, you send the police, they beat them up, or you arrest them, you do that. You have not sorted anything. It's just a question of time. Another thing, another wave is coming. So, in talking about government and blaming government, we shouldn't have that situation happen. We need to work around it. If it has happened, what lessons have we learned? And who is working to resolve those matters that are there? Ratanda, you raised something that is very important. You said these guys are behaving because they're missing the good life. Who took the good life away? It's because they see the foreigners come in there and start to enjoy what they should be enjoying. The things that they should be able to participate in, they're not participating. So for me, I'm saying government, but and again your music.
So that's me warning you that your 1
okay.
minute rebuttal.
Thank you very much. In the 15 seconds, Black Mountain in Mufulira is an example. Which was promised to the Zambians. Who is mining it? A South African is mining it. So we need to just make sure that we put the money where our mouth is. I submit, Bakalinda. Thank you.
Can I follow with that? 10 seconds.
Yes, go ahead. You have your minute.
Yeah, I agree. It seems Vakazila now has come around. He's actually said exactly what we've been saying. My only dispute is we cannot blame the president where enforcement, and he said enforcement is a government issue. It's not. Police not enforcing the law, Kuchuembala, has nothing to do with the president. So we should hold people accountable. A wrong was done. We have identified that. The leadership has seen that in the president. They're going to crack the whip. When you say the Jerabos now are looking at how the investor now who has come in is enjoying the money, and they're saying we are supposed to be enjoying that, we shouldn't encourage them. We shouldn't do illegal stuff.
Nobody is encouraging illegal stuff, Vakombe.
No, you just said the Jerabos, the reason why they reacted is they are seeing the enjoyment that's supposed to be theirs is now being enjoyed by the investor. I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay, can you explain what I mean?
The investor is legal, he's there legally, and he's doing his job. So the Jerabos they have no right, whether they used to enjoy. It was illegal in the first place when they were doing it. It was illegal and dangerous. Now, moving forward to what the topic talks about, I think this is a twofold. I hope the administration now just doesn't make it so illegal for you to mine, but also makes it very illegal for anybody who buys those minerals from Jerabos. They should put stiff punishment, fines, and even deregistering companies that do that. Even put jail time in there to discourage people from buying those things. It's like you buy something that has been stolen, and knowingly I buy it. I should also be charged. So I think the government should be very strict, not only to the Jerabos, but the people who buy those products from them. When you stop the buyer, then the person who's selling that stuff will rot with that product. So I think it should be a twofold. And I'm glad the president has looked at
just
it.
a quick question to you. Are you saying in your statement, are you telling me to say this foreigner is doing it very legally and everything? The Jarabo, a Zambian, is doing it illegally. So my question to you is, why don't we make the Jarabo do it right? Because if you are, no, listen, Bakombe. If you are going to say, if you are going to punish Zambia, and this is a problem that is on the copper belt, and this is something that I would not tolerate personally. I do not believe that we must give a very good safe haven for someone who is coming as a foreigner and then put a Zambian aside. When a Zambian reacts, then we go and kick him up for things that are in his country.
Vakazira. Just because you are Zambian doesn't mean you have the right to go to the mines and start mining gold.
If you can allow me to finish, Vakombe, without interjections, because this is one of the things that sends us into all this tit for tat. It's not allowing your friend to finish his thought. So, what I'm saying, maybe you have misquoted me. What I'm saying, I am not promoting anything illegal. If you, Vakombe, stand on the platform as my president, you tell me, number one, I will provide for you a license.
He has done that.
But the licenses are there.
Listen.
They are there. So what are you talking about?
Can you listen, please?
Okay,
no, you're misinforming people here.
Okay,
No. Ceasefire for now. Let's move on.
Vakalinda, I think it is not Vakalinda. I think as you are sharing this, I don't think it's right. When a person is, even if you don't agree with me, let me finish, then you can correct. Stop interjecting. That is making the discussion,
okay.
All this talk is just going into overtime.
Yeah, it is just going into overtime because we're interjecting each other.
Okay. I give you 30 seconds. Finish up and then we move.
Yes.
30 seconds.
I am not promoting illegality. I am saying if you have said you will provide licenses, provide licenses. If you say you provide equipment, provide equipment. If you say you provide safety training, provide it. If you don't do those three things that you have said, then you're going to have a problem with the Jalabos. Provide those things to them, and then you can see who is doing it wrong. When you don't provide and you want to punish, you should not do that.
Okay, then Vakazira, moderator, this is very important. We shouldn't mislead people here. Let me tell you, Vakazira, this is breaking news. I'll tell you this for free. I won't even charge you. The president has provided that. He has given licenses to the youth. He's given equipment to the youth.
Who?
The youth on the copper belt.
How many?
What do you mean? Not all the youth will be involved.
I don't know. Yes, but give me the statistics. Don't just.
What do you mean? Which statistics? What do you mean?
How many youth have been empowered?
Let me
information. I have the information. Let me pull up.
There are a lot of cooperatives that have been formed on the copper belt.
Okay, one person at a time.
Stop misleading people.
No, you're not misleading them, Wakombe. You're the one misleading them.
Are those statistics available?
I'll provide them during the course of the program. Let's move ahead. But during the program, I'll give it to Vakazia since he wants to know them.
Yes, I want to know.
I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him.
All right. And I know, like Lady Sarah says, let's please observe time. One contribution because we don't want to overlap. Anyway, shall we move on to the next topic that I found very interesting? And this is the president telling us that we have ministers that show up to cabinet meetings drunk and sleeping on duty. And he was absolutely flabbergasted. But then also, I mean, for me, I'm asking myself, if you are the president, why are you telling us this instead of cracking the whip? You know which ministers are showing up drunk. You know which ministers are sleeping in cabinet meetings when they're supposed to be deliberating on issues that affect the nation. Gentlemen, Your take on the president's revelation at the swearing-in ceremony of our new minister of local government and rural development, Mr. Gift Sialubalo. What did you take of that? And let me start with the dog in Puerto Rico. Who is watching the news? Bakazia.
Wakaziwa for information ya kumaini.
All right, I'm so done with you. I'm so done with you. Copyright.
Ni vadhani vachiradishi akanani yakuvakumbira namuyati ni vadhani apa.
All right, gentlemen. Doctor, my lovely Lozo husband, and congratulations. The Oscar ceremony this year was just wonderful. Your take on the president revelation about ministers sleeping on duty. Your take, Doc.
Yeah, the president was very, very angry. Actually, it was the first time I saw him visibly annoyed about when he was making those pronouncements. It's really it's very disappointing for him to have his foot soldiers there doing the opposite of what he's trying to preach. It's very, very, very sad. To me, I think going forward as a UPND supporter, I think he needs to crack the whip even more often, just to show that he's really serious about this. Because I think to let some people come drunk once, twice, three times, and then everybody else is looking at them and all that, because it became like a normal thing. Because if I go drunk today, nothing happens to me. Tomorrow I go, nothing happens. So it was, I think, getting worse and worse. So I think he needs to start cracking the whip on some of these
Exactly.
behaviors. He needs to really, really be. We need to see more discipline in his cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right, Lufia. Your comment. I mean, for me, really. I mean, I don't even know why he was telling us that. I know we saw him angry, but why not fire? You are the man with the weapon to do that. Your comment.
Well, that's a good question. That's $1 million question.
Mm-hmm.
Why shouldn't he fire them?
Mm-hmm.
But you know how our president is.
State capped.
He will give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how that's how he operates and looks at things. If you're doing something wrong, he'll give you a chance and opportunity to repent. I think he takes it from being an elder in church. But that aside, the cabinet is the most important place where you go and make decisions that are going to affect Zambians.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it should be a priority to anybody who's a cabinet minister or member to go there with a sober mind.
Right.
So how are you going to pass certain decisions, or how are you going to contribute if you're half asleep? Right? So I think those are the issues there that the president was trying to bring out, because for him to come out like that, obviously that it has reached at a level where he's like, I think this is too much. And if you have big people that are supposed to be like, pillars in the UPND government,
right,
who are your colleagues, and maybe, I'm not saying that's what it is, are the ones that are half asleep, then it's a problem. Then we're not going to have certain decisions made. We're not going to have proper information exchanged and proper ideas implemented, because you're half asleep, right? So we need to figure out. That's why he was even jokingly, but I could see that he was serious, saying like, look, when it comes to Jameson, me, I don't even involve me. I'm not going to argue with that. You can indulge yourself outside these meetings for as long as you want, but just as long as when you come to a cabinet meeting, you got your A game up. Because here we are here to discuss serious, important business of the day, of the government. So cracking the whip, he will do that probably, but is it necessary for now? But we already saw one big person gone. Was it because of that? Who knows? We're just speculating at this point. But he's a president, and he needs to strategize and look at things and see how best way these issues can be addressed. Maybe bring it out into the public. Like I say, why did you maybe bring it in the public? People will feel ashamed next time, next cabinet meeting. They'll be like, okay, because if I just tell you on a one-on-one, say, Mwana, why you it was a gonna meeting? I'm okay, one-on-one. But maybe I tell you next thing again, same thing. So if you go public and then people are like, these are our people, our custodians. They will come to you and say, Bwana. Maybe that's why in our constituency or in our area, this is not happening because you're half asleep. Can you please wake up and give us what we need here? I submit.
Right. Back on the please follow, please. Right.
Real quick. To me, I think the president, being a very good leader that he is, I think he did the right thing. In leadership, it's not always that you should crack the whip. Even in your own households, you have children who misbehave. You don't disown them. You can warn them. You can, put sanctions. And then if push comes to shove, it's just the disrespect is too much, then maybe you take action. It's the same. I think what the president was trying to say was actually in that moment, he was addressing his cabinet, not the nation. He didn't want us to know, but it was too much. So he started addressing them as if to tell them, I've tolerated a lot. I believe in you, and I believe that you should follow the agenda that I want, but I've tolerated a lot. Here are the examples. Now he was speaking to them, but we were just privy to hear these things. So it's part of good leadership. Sometimes you have good soldiers and they might come late or they're lazy in one area. You pull them in, you talk to them, you can warn. That's why you have write-ups even at work, write-ups and warnings before they fire you. So it's nothing unusual. It's not a sign of weakness for the president to tolerate once in a while. We don't know how many times it happened. But I think in that moment, I think that was not meant for us. But I think the president was in a moment and he was just pissed off. He had had enough, and he was just trying to say, you guys have given you so much of the rope. And this is just becoming out of hand. So I think it's part of leadership, and I hope now he doesn't tolerate too much.
All right, beloved resident PS, your take on sleeping ministers.
You see, when I hear the justification, it baffles me.
We are not justifying anything.
One, the first thing is that there should be no tolerance for any cabinet minister to show up at State House drunk in whatever form or mode. Nothing like that. If he shows up one day, he is told to, in fact, he's just off the cabinet. He can't sit in that cabinet meeting. How do you allow a person who is drunk and sleeping in a cabinet meeting and is there for the meeting? Then number two, we needed not to know, Wakombe. This is some of the things we should tell the president. Well, president, those are your bedroom things. Keep them in the State House. Don't bring them to the public. It is washing dead linen in public. Like that is what he did there. We must not encourage him. And we must show that we are telling him, this is not something for the public. You cannot come in a press conference and tell that your ministers come to a meeting drunk. Really, seriously? So now we become a laughing stock. I saw is it ABC News in South Africa and stuff like that in Nigeria, where they were saying the ministers now will go to cabinet meetings drunk. There are no jokes from the president's mouth when he is standing on that platform giving a press conference. There is no jokes. If he jokes, it's in a wrong way. It will be taken in a wrong manner. These ministers that are going drunk, no wonder things are not working. And that's why you now say, no, the president has done his part. We can't blame. We will blame him when ministers show up drunk and he doesn't take action. Gary Nkombo was fired not because of going there drunk. We have not been told that. So I'm choosing myself not to say that he was going there drunk, but for other reasons. Then who is this minister who is going there drunk and still be having a ministerial portfolio right now? And how does he talk to them 3 times? How? Just how? As if there are no people that can take up those positions that are sober, that they are educated, they are sober, they are experienced. They can take up those positions. So that one is on the presidency. It is not on anyone else. The others have just taken advantage of the presidency and they are misbehaving. So the president needs to stand up and be more focused and more resilient to deal with such matters, not to come and give us excuses there. It didn't work out for me, and I think he shouldn't say those things. That is very bad. He's exposed his cabinet too much. He shouldn't do that.
Right, Lady Sarah, your comment on the president's remarks about drunk ministers and sleeping on duty in cabinet meetings. Your take.
First, I just want to confirm, was it the time that he was swearing in the new local government?
Yes.
Minister? Okay.
Yes.
So for me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, so Gary maybe was sleeping. Because if you chase a wife because of some, something, and then you are marrying another wife, I don't want a wife who will be sitting idle. I don't want a wife who will be wearing a chitenge. Then the other one was wearing a chitenge, right? So, like Ibakazia is saying, that was uncalled for the president to say that, especially that he was, swearing in after, chasing the other one. So people like me, I concluded whatever he's talking about, you know what I mean? Even if there are those other cabinet ministers who are getting drunk and also sleeping. The other thing is, some of the appointed people, it's not easy to sit in parliament. Now we can
Lady Sarah, please, Papa,
they're in the night, like the age has gotten there, and you can imagine. What do you expect, Mira? He's going to sleep. That's why we are not having, proper. If you have watched the parliament, snoring. So in short, when the president was talking, I was like, is it why my Gary is gone? Was he one of the people that was dozing also? Because like I've already said, if you chase one, like even with the dog, you chase a dog to say, you're bringing another dog at you are saying, why you chase the other one? It's because of the reasons that you are giving. It was not the right time. And also, he was not supposed to do that as the president. The other thing is, the president was emotional, too emotional. Too emotional. That's why people now are playing these videos where he was saying something that is now being brought to say, oh, it's a sin to do this. Now it's okay, So the president should be mindful how he's going to talk about things, especially cabinet ministers cabinet ministers. Watch out. There is no way you can be going. Can you expect a teacher going in class na kolwa? Kutafunda. Nishi mungunuina kanshi ba Zambia. Maite mokunwa sana imwe makabinet. Impia na shimifulira donate to charity. Hospitals have no drugs. Donate. You are buying expensive beer. Muya muila ngati mnenuka mukano na walwa. Eo mle lala kyoko. The president you're making HHI. Anyhow. Thank you.
All right. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
I can say some things. I think you are right. I think she's very right. But I think the president was pushed to comment, especially on specific issues. You should remember that before the press conference, right after we knew that Bagari was fired, there was a campaign on Facebook, especially from the opposition. Even from our own UPND people were trying to say, Gary is an angel, he has done all this. So that was a way for the president to come out and say, okay, you all think this, but there are also certain things. Can you tolerate certain things like this? Of course, he was fired because of a collection of things. And the president just mentioned some of the things.
Are you confirming
his reason? I think I don't think it's just the dosing or the drinking. I don't know, but I want to believe it's a collection of things.
Including
and he was pushed because there was a campaign. Even PF now was praising Gary, even UPND members coming out. So the president wanted to say, it's like Mwayako Milandu, and then it's a marital problem, and everybody's praising your spouse. Without knowing how you live in your own house, you'll be prompted to mention some things. So I think that's what the president said. It was just in the moment. It wasn't meant for us, but he couldn't just take it. He's human.
It was meant for us, Makombe. That one, don't say that. It was meant for us. Why he told us? Don't create something he didn't know. He wouldn't have told us if it was not for us. It was for us to know.
Because you were saying Bankombo is an angel.
But the question is that, are you saying he was part of the people sleeping? That's why he was fired. Are you confirming that?
I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. So we don't know why Nkombo was fired.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
It's the president who knows. No. There's someone. One person knows why he fired him. It was the president only.
Correct.
So if not what the president said.
We've moved on. We have a new local government minister, and the president spoke. We are looking at other issues now. As the UPND, we are so focused. We want to arrest the economy, so we improve economy.
You can't arrest an economy with people sleeping.
Well, he took action, right?
All right. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Anyway, before we do that, I do have to, read out the comments that were sent out to me on WhatsApp by a regular contributor. Masiliso, he's out in Mulema. He's out in Solwezi. He can't join because of the network. Also, Mr. Himami Maja was trying to join. He just sent a message here that he can't. The network is bumping Zambia, and Raphael Mbozi was also trying to. Those are Zambian connections. They're having issues with network, but my sister was able to send some text to answer some of the topics that we have. So he says, "Greetings to everyone. I do not know why, as a country, we have allowed an illegality to continue in the name of Jirabots." That's his comment. Number 2. The drunkenness on duty should be instant dismissal. He's agreeing with everyone. Just like in the mines, you cannot report for work whilst drunk. Okay, we'll move on to the next topic, which is...
Where's the deep thinker?
Oh, the deep thinker. I don't know. He has. He's been having some visitors. You know, you men, when you get female visitors, you even forget that other things exist. So we leave it there. Anyway, let's just leave it there. All right. The disarray.
Well, deep thinker is still in the game.
Yeah, he's still in the game. Anyway, I did not mean to bring out his business. But anyway, I mean, that's the message I got. But anyway, So let's move on to the next topic, which is a disarray in the opposition parties. Uh, Elections are next year, August 12th. And we have people like Mao Sampa coming out in the public today. He was giving out a statement where he's saying, well, let's just welcome back Mr. Lungu. He's the most popular one amongst us. Kalaba on the other side, he's holding rallies and saying he's running. I don't know what Sean Temple is doing. Sean Temple went to court. He's challenging the Constitutional Court's decision on Valungu. Imboila, we don't know where she stands, and Given Muvinda, he's out there paying for this young boy. Why me to post the abusive language on social media? What's going on in the opposition, Rani? Let's start with Vakombe. I think I just kind of like, I'm lost. First of all, who is going to be on the ticket? Because we do need the opposition. I think for a healthy economy, we need a healthy, thriving opposition to give checks and balances for the ruling government. But this opposition, what it's doing, Mao Sampa, he divided PF in three. Chabinga on the other side, he's supporting UPND now. Now he's saying, let's bring back Valungu. What's going on, Bakombe? Make me understand.
What a joke.
I think it's a very sad situation, state of affairs. We need opposition. Any country needs an opposition because they are part of leadership. They provide checks and balances. So we need a healthy opposition group. But the crop of the opposition leaders, so-called leaders with a very small L we have in Zambia, is a sorry sight. The biggest problem they have is they have no message. If they had a message, they would have come up with a leader. But the fact that they have no message, they're all over the place. And these are people who just want to come back because they want to continue from where they ended from. Looting, terrorizing people, that's all they know. They are missing the privileges they created for themselves. That's the reason why you see them sweating, McGiven, they're shaking. I'll give you an example. There was a situation at Parliament where UPND MPs walked out.
Yes.
The opposition went and they were jumping up and down on Parliament grounds. We want a debate on how to improve the economy. The following day, I was expecting them to go everywhere on social media, on media houses, to explain how the economy can be arrested. They never did. The so-called, not so-called, but what's his name? This MP from Ghana.
Bino
Mpundu. He's the loudest.
By the way, he just announced
a day after the debate, he was doing interviews. He went to That Z podcast. He went there. He never talked about the economy. So to me, it showed me that the guy is a political chancer who has no solutions to offer. So the problem they have, to me, is the message. They have nothing to offer the Zambian people. These are people we should never allow even close to the corridors of power. These people should be in opposition for life. And if Zambians were not very forgetful, we remember exactly what they were doing, how they privileged themselves. The looting that was there, they were stealing like the world was going to end. So we should never, that's the problem they have. We should never allow them. But it's the message. They have nothing to offer Zambian people. Now they are going back to an old leader who doesn't know what to do. Himself, he doesn't have a message. The only message he has is, I was once your president. That's the talking point they have. Everyone else wants to be a leader. Now, a person like you mentioned, why me? A person like Wami coming out of prison, and an entire vice president goes there to say, this is a freedom fighter. Takazila, you guys amaze me. It's unbelievable. It's like a cartoon when we watch the
I'll
opposition.
speak to you about that.
By you.
All right.
I really would like to hear.
And just for your information, Bino Mpundu just announced his own political party and is running for president in 2026. So, Kazia, I see your lips are moving. You want to come in?
You see, this is where the problem is. If anyone wanted to listen to UPND as opposition that you are going to advise, it is a disaster. Anyone who doesn't even think about themselves to start to listen to UPND and say, oh, they'll give you the best advice as an opposition leader, you are doomed. If you ever going to sit down and say, oh, I'm going to listen to UPND, tell us this, you are just doomed. You are just wasting your time. In fact, if you see that, oh, these are people that, what is it that UPND has done? Why should you focus on the opposition? Meanwhile, you are engineering in the back door about how to destroy the same opposition that you're talking about. How does Mao Sampa get overnight at Independence Night? He is elected in the night, the fingerprints are done. The next day, you want to change the office holders? Like there's no constitution for a party. You finance him, you know that, oh, now Mao Sampa is getting bigger. You change, you bring in Chavinga.
So what message do you have for the Zambians?
No,
listen,
first I'm responding to you. You see, I'm responding to you to tell you that this is the problem that we have. This is the politics that you have in Zambia. This is the politics that you have. What message did you have in opposition which you've brought in there? There was no message. You are telling lies. You lied, and I can give you an example.
What are you going to do? What do you intend to do?
Let me talk
Don't
about
focus on us.
Why are you focusing on us yourself?
You are in the opposition. You want to come in and beat it.
You see, you see, nobody has invited you to say, come and advise us and what? No, we are not interested. Keep your advice to yourselves.
Well,
go and fix the economy there. Go and fix the cost of living. That is what people have elected you for, not to start monitoring what the opposition is doing. That is not your role. Fix the cost of living. Right now, fix the exchange rate. Fix the cost of milling meal. Fix the cost of fertilizer. Fix the cost. Fix. But what have you done? Scandals in agriculture. Scandals in fuel procurement. Scandals are everywhere right now. Scandals are there. What is even the American ambassador? What did he say in the financial transactions? What happened to $40 million, which was worth of maize, which was happening? What happened to it? What have you done to the road infrastructure? You have said no. It is him. I'm quoting him. If you don't argue with me, argue with him. The things that you have done.
Overreaching there.
No, I want to know, but you see, when we choose to go political and we stop focusing on the things that we should be able to bring to help our country, this is what happens. Because you want to appoint like Imwebo.
So why should you be elected back, Kaidi? A moderator.
No. It's not about him. Let's see. Let us all come in because we don't want it to be between you and Nabakombe.
But Nabakombe ingira mumule batamba Kaidi.
No, it's a debate.
Yeah, okay, one person at a time. Because you're 2 minutes and you know it is up. Let's give the floor to
okay, Wakalinda, stop talking. But the point is that if I'm going to be interjected half of my time, what would you do to that time? Because I never interjected.
Okay, Wakombe. Give
okay, let others speak.
Yeah, let's because it's
let others speak because you can't be having a conversation like that.
Come in, please. Come in.
No message.
Message. There's nothing that you're
all right. Okay. So, Baliashidi, banani kane ba opposition
Their theme was Plan B, not Quarter Plan B. A theme, yeah. But Plan B is bringing out Kakamwai Chekaria, Kawai me, Kula Tukabaka Teka. A Plan B, yeah. This is how low this political, which was once a giant.
But let him speak, please.
So, once a political giant to be reduced to a civilian called YME, bringing resources, sure, is that how low you can sink? Sponsoring a young man like that, is that your plan B, really? Now, Pama leaders want somebody more opposition. Yes, it's in this rate. Who do we talk about? Hari Kalaba. Okay? Hari Kalaba, sometimes it seems like he has a little bit of checks and balances. He comes up with a little bit of ideas. Maybe there. Okay? Tuaya kuri ulia umbi murumendo atina wa mfuma glass atina nikane ulia. He's always condemning the president every day. Ngabuka fie tarasusa na mkanwa kuya pa internet ha na mufuchi echechofu achitire
ule guys ule fwa haircut
atina nishi na ule what's his name
Kasonde, you mean
Kasonde?
With your profanity mulafirwa kulanda fefintu kwa bulo kusadimini abantu
so Kasonde
what kind of talk is that?
No.
It's
an expression. So here's the thing. Sometimes when you just jump, no.
Use the simple language. Stop demeaning them.
Sometimes
demean them.
Okay. I withdraw that statement.
Yeah.
Okay, I've withdrawn that statement. But here's where I'm going. Umulumendo avuka fiaka chelo ngavuka. The first thing on his mind is HH. Okay? He has no proper message to tell us. There's no proper checks and balances.
Yeah.
Kapishaba mwevere ma politics ati kula stuff ya attack kateka then ema checks and balances. No. And the guy is actually even educated. But his politics are below par. If you have some politicians that you were under 5. So there's no way you can go against a giant like the UPN. Such politicians as under 5.
Okay, now.
Okay, that's what Basata used to say. Politicians quite under 5. Tayari and the group Nashala Neka Party, they are all under 5s. So they cannot give us any checks and balances. Okay? Nina Vamembe bali kwatama political philosophies which cannot work in Africa. Katwishika buku baberengere when he was sometime 50 years ago in college. This thing was good. No book start implementing. It can never work in Africa. Please, this is not a socialist kind of economy or socialist kind of a world.
Give him his flowers, Vachilufia. He's a dog. He's a doctor.
Sorry, va Dr. Membe. Va Dr. Membe. Policies it will never work in Zambia. Point blank. No matter how good your ideas are, but just the way. Just look at the countries that use that kind of system. They are all in this area. Even where you took that a handbook or blueprint from.
Cuba.
Look at Venezuela. They are all going through turmoil. Because it's not reflecting in modern day society. You cannot apply it in the 21st century. It cannot marry each other with the way the world is working and moving. So we don't want to bring Zambia back to the 1800s. Okay? So so that's why I'm saying, like you said, Vakalinda, yes, the opposition is in disarray. But we need somebody. Ni nani?
But who is it? Who is it?
You know, those days when
Who is it? Who can challenge HH?
Vasike when he was NDC president, it made sense. Problem kutemwa indalama nokutina jere echalengere banani kane vasta switch ama seats yokuwa then you confuse people now. Okay, so this is often ngaraenda kuli basata for balelanda under 5 bonse firma under 5 tapali katwishu bakansia karamu kwatapo omomwe ngati balungu temwe elanda rokulanda bali agiba
lingwata nalamu asuka
ngati balungu bwe balanda nokubalanda because bashukuru bali abalingire nabo yampe mukulala baletekanya bali yangapi no twishukuru. You know, that's his job now. It's just to come and
that's the reality.
I submit.
Songa ninena chiralanda vakaziranga navalanda at an interjecting.
Let's move on. Doc, your comment on what's going on in the opposition right now.
Okay. As a Democrat, I love to have opposition to check my performance. But right now, it's very, very sad to see that the opposition in Zambia is non-existent. I always tell Kazira this, but he doesn't agree with me. I tell him there's no opposition right now.
No, you've killed it. You kill everybody.
So the biggest things I see here, all the guys that come together with alliances, don't say alliance, UKWA, whatever, there's no unity in those alliances because they're basically, I'd call it personality-driven type of alliances. Each one of them feels he's a big guy. Oh, I'm this. I used to be minister of this, foreign affairs. And this one says, oh, me, I'm a businessman. I'm Ndobile. This one says, oh, me, I'm Given Luvinda. I'm Lungu's right-hand man and all that. So all of them have this personality type of ego or ego clashes and their personal ambitions. And generally, there's a lot of deep mistrust, I would call it. None of them, you could see when they come together, there's no jailing. They're all like at an individual. You can see people that are together. But when they stand there, you can just see the body language and everyone is on his own. They are not really a pact. They are not really they have no issue or ideology-driven agenda at all. Zero. Okay? The only thing they're doing right now is to remind what HH had said. That's their campaign message. They just play these videos every time. Oh no, he said this, he said this. Now the Kwacha is at this, he said this. That is their message. Someone said they have no message. That's the message they have. They don't have any solutions to what we are undergoing. For example, they don't have a solution to lowering the price of maize, milli meal. They have none talks about that. Nobody talks about the generation of our energy in our economy. Nobody. Okay, so they're very. I don't want to use the word. They're very shallow in their way of looking at the politics, because the way we did it when we were in opposition, we had a long list of things, alternatives, including one of
long list of lies.
No, it was what we were telling the people what we want to do.
Yeah.
Whether we have achieved 90% or 80% or 100%
or zero,
at least we had a message to the people. We used to tell them we're going to decentralize the financing of the councils. We did it. Free education, we did it. So there's a list of things we used to tell people. The opposition right now, they don't even have one thing that they talk about when they meet in those daily, weekly meetings, whatever they call them. They have no alternative solutions to what they are going to do when they come in power. Not even one. Nothing. There's nothing. So what type of opposition is this? And I think this is the first time we have an opposition that is so disorganized like this, where they don't even have one item of what they're going to do when they come in power. Zero at all. all they talk about is, oh, HH is a liar. HH is a liar. So come on, tell us what you're going to do. So this is what I do.
What have you told the people that you're going to do?
Can I finish, please? Can I finish? So because of this, and the other thing that I see with these oppositions, they are based in Lusaka, Cairo Road, and they have these social media meetings every Friday, every Monday, every Tuesday. They have not gone to the grassroots. I've never heard any one of them going to Mbala or meeting in Solwezi. None, zero. So they have limited grassroots, what I would call mobilization, and time is running out. For example, we are already we're encouraging people to register as voters, as UPND. They have none. They don't even know what's going on in their constituencies. So it's very sad that we're going to have one horse race come 2026. So the biggest thing, I was talking to my friend in the UK, I would say, why is this opposition like this time around? First of all, he told me that they never expected that they would have lost 2021 anyway. So they were not ready as a party. They were not organized. So the moment they lost, it was a big blow to them because, for example, the financial organization of a party, right now, they don't even have $1 in an account as a party. None. It's zero. It's empty. Okay?
Those are lies, people. Aye.
Mao Sampa told us.
Yes, he has the accounts. He's a legal
Mao
person.
Sampa told us. He showed the bank account to the cameras. He showed it. He showed us. So anyway, so what I see here is lack of financial muscle in their party. And that's why they're calling Lungu, because they know Lungu has some Kasaka Kandarama somewhere, hidden somewhere. So that's why all of them.
Those are proper lies. Why do you find it easy to lie, you guys?
That's why all of them have this. Can I finish, please?
Bakazia, can you allow the doctor to finish?
Can you allow the doctor to finish?
So this is the reason why there's Mundubire is going to come but Mundubire is not ready to spend money.
Who told you that?
So that's why everybody is calling Lungu, because it's only Lungu who has Kasakakandalama who can unleash money for them to start getting on the ground or do something. Without Lungu, without anybody with the money, these guys are finished. They're done. There's nothing. Russia trying to meet Putin. You can't meet Putin. He goes there, he goes and just spends, I don't know how many, whatever he wanted to talk to.
How do you just manufacture things in your head?
He went to Russia.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
So when he went to Russia, he wanted to meet Putin. That's what he told you.
You thought he went there to do what?
So
he never met any leader there. He just came back empty-handed. So the thing
he was going to meet Putin.
Money.
How do you just manufacture things, you guys?
Money is lacking.
All right, let others speak.
Let me finish. Yes. So money is an issue. So if opposition wants some money, maybe they can come to me, I give them, and then they make me the leader. I'm just joking. They are lacking money. It's a huge handicap they have. They have no one. It costs money to be in opposition. Our leader was spending his personal money. Our HH was spending money from his own pocket in your
No, it's a personal party.
No, it's not a personal party. He sacrificed. So these guys, nobody's ready to spend money. That's the reason why we have this disorganized type of thing. Thank you. I submit.
All right, let's allow Lady Sarah, make her submission. Lady Sarah, the lady of substance. What do you think of the opposition now? I mean, it was Tonse, Ukwa, I don't know what Cambo balance is coming up again.
My breath is so expensive. I'm not going to just, use it there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that is my red Sarah. That is my red.
Alright,
Why are you
Imwe.
saying that is my lady Sarah? Did you tell?
Because you see, it is not relevant to start to convince Imwe Wabusapa in this group, ya UPND. You see, and when you want to give an assessment of a political party, you are giving from your very biased view. You
What
understand?
about
You're
you?
giving
What
no.
about you when you
Let
condemn
me, let me,
UPND?
that's exactly what I'm doing as well. I'm just retaliating. But what I'm doing right now, I'm retaliating to you to defend the position. Not that I am giving you anything. It's like I'm trying to advise you. Can I advise you how you should run UPND right now?
Okay. I think
What
the
kind
big
of
Okay,
thing is that?
but moderator, through the chair.
Wasting time on this one.
Let
Let's move on.
speak, Kazia.
But,
Let
but
Rakombe speak.
yeah, but moderator, I'll just say one thing real quick so that Mupere Bakazira time. The question was, why is it that Takuli opposition? Bakazira, tell us why.
Yes.
Tell us.
Yes.
Tell us.
First of all, it is flawed to think like that. There's no opposition. It is flawed to think like that. The opposition in Zambia, they are people. People are the opposition. If you fix them, listen. They are never vetting, and this I'm going to. You see, Imamule push a question and
Can
expecting
I
an
reclaim my time? Kanshi Bakazira Tareshive. Can I reclaim my time?
No, let him talk. Let him talk. Bakombe, let him talk.
And then you can write.
Kalinda. I am a topic, some topics yashipanga sense in Zambia, yeah. Because you see, let me be very clear with you.
Yeah.
It's like you are telling a lion to look after you are telling a wolf to look after sheep. That's what you are doing. What can come from you that people can pick and
But
say,
the
oh no,
opposition ila kalipa but.
mute opposition ni tapari ule chula mone ine paroshi le chula
Mule pilo kulondolola.
mone ni bakombe efo cha bango ni mpa ule fo okubomfi obufi wale bomfi obukuruku. People have been there before. Then when they mukaba more opposition one day, it's not like it is today. That's why in them advise you muntu about the opposition. You can't. You are wolves. You cannot advise sheep. You can't. And this is one of the things that you must be able to live with. People have said no, Imwe are a wrong source. If it was an NGO which is non-biased, then people can sit down and agree. But let me just give you the scandals that you have.
No, but we are not advising the opposition. The question was,
let me finish.
why
Stop
is it that there is no opposition? We are not advising you.
Let me tell you. That is an illusion to think like that. You can't say there's no opposition.
So tell us why there is no opposition and what you are doing. Tell us.
100% overpriced. Maize 40%. Ambulances, medicines, gold scandal, fertilizer, sugarite, software, Mopan.
You have become reporters, Mwenomba. You just report. Somebody said here, your job is to wake up and report what's happening.
No,
the opposition, tell us what you intend to do.
Imwevo, you have not taught the Zambians what you do for them. You have not done anything. Imwevo, you want people to talk to you, then you start to change and start protecting yourselves. Nobody should be able to tell you. It is not within.
Sorry. Monen, one thing we said, now you even answered, you said you have a person in mind who's the next leader in the opposition. Tell us. Give us.
Let me.
An opposition leader.
Program
therefore you are able to deceive people using these simplistic tactics like this. No one can listen to you to advise them.
We are not advising you.
Question ya chincha,
question ya please.
Who the theme of the topic is there's a disarray in the opposition.
And
the Zambian people
no, you
are
are the
looking for
of that
the
disarray.
next.
Don't know who is there.
Let me tell you, you have created a disarray. You create your disarray within the opposition parties.
So there is no leader. Are you admitting that there is no leader?
I mean, you
Did you do another box?
There are a lot of leaders. There are a lot of political parties
A
that are in
problem
Zambia.
kachopo iberera popeni.
Muntu umwe yo. Ubwafya bwenu mulefanga balumbula omuntu mayiro mwaya ikata mwalonga. You have jailed all the opposition leaders. Once they appear in court. What kind of democracy have you created? Now, if you this is not democracy. Imwe, you are a wrong source. Imwe, you are a wrong source to advise anyone. Advise how we are going to deal with the cost of living. Not how people are going to get a leader. It's not your business. It is not your business. Keep it to yourself. This is not your business.
Yeah, you've talked.
Tamwisendere with no position.
You have enough back as well. Talk to now.
We have enough. This is just a waste of time. I
reclaim my time. I reclaim my time. You are making me to be Barbara. What now? Who is that one? That old lady now. That old lady now.
In Kenya.
I reclaim my time. Shall we just move on? Let's just leave the opposition alone at this point because there's absolutely nothing they are giving
Indeed.
the public. Absolutely nothing. So we move on to Masiliso. He has also something to say. What did he say? If the opposition parties are not focused, then it's better not to have them because there's no value addition to the country.
Indeed.
Good summary. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is the new banknotes. I mean, the euphoria they created in Zambia. I was happy for Zambians. They have now the new 500, 200, 100 banknotes with all these tourism features, attached to them, like Colombo Falls, Chishimba Falls, Ingombe Ilede, and so many others on there. Gentlemen and Lady Sarah, what do you think of the rollout of the new banknotes by the Bank of Zambia? Let's start with the dog in Puerto Rico.
It's a good thing, in my view. I haven't seen the actual notes. I've seen them just on paper in the newspapers and stuff, but not to touch the actual notes. But knowing the technology that goes into the printing of Zambian notes, for a long time, Zambian currency was printed in Montreal. If people don't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, in Canada. So the quality definitely is better than before. So it's like driving a new car. You are driving an old car. So definitely things have improved. I know some people were so used to the old banknotes. Some people are actually talking about some features have been removed from there. They have put other features which they wanted to be there and all that. But sometimes change is inevitable. We have to move on. To me, it's a good thing. And I think with the technology that they are sort of the material that they used does not really absorb moisture as much as the previous notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's sort of close to plastic type. I don't know what type of special material that the chemists people come with. By the way, I'm so impressed with the Canadian notes. You know that you can wash them, you can put in a washing machine, it will come out nicely. Just like you can pour water on it, nothing. You can boil it. You can boil a Canadian note, it will never even get destroyed. I wish we could go that extent. Yeah, but it's definitely better than the previous ones because I have in my wallet an old Zambian note, and they were really disintegrating over time. Like they would absorb moisture and all this type of thing, and then they were just literally ordinary paper. So this one is not ordinary paper. So it's I'm happy for the for the government, for the Bank of Zambia to do that. And one feature, by the way, that they have included is the sizes. I'm told the sizes are different. so that the blind people can also really tell just from the sizes that I'm dealing with 20 kwacha, I'm dealing with 50 kwacha and stuff like that. So that's where they varied the sizes of the notes. I'm told in the previous denominations, the sizes were more or less the same in some denominations. I don't know. But now the blind people have also welcomed the new notes because of the variation in their sizes based on the denominations, which is very good. So yeah, it's a good thing. So those some people, again, in opposition, Calabar, had said, now this is going to bring inflation. This means inflation. I don't understand where it's coming from, but the introduction of new notes has nothing to do with inflation. It's just the notes. Inflation is something else. But introducing new banknotes doesn't mean that inflation will be invited to the country as well, according to the opposition leader, Calabar. But I don't know. So, but it's a good thing. And I think people they're excited already about it, as Zambians are. When something new comes, everyone wants to have it. So people are flashing these nice brand new notes from their pockets, which is good. It's a good thing. Thank you.
Right. And let's just read out this comment from somebody in Zambia, actually. He says it's exciting to see new banknotes, which are even smaller in size to the old ones. That's his comment, Basile. So let's bring in Bakombe. Your comment on the new rollout of new banknotes by the Bank of Zambia.
I think it has been great so far. No hiccups whatsoever. It's phased out, and I think we were due for many reasons. One, the money, the type of material that was being used, that we were using over time, like the last speaker said, was not very durable. With time, we were exchanging notes in a very short time. That's one. Two, the many people that are opposed to this, especially the opposition, some of them it's because they know where they've locked the money, the old currency, and now changing the currency is a problem. It means they'll be forced to bring out the money. And it's good that a lot of them will lose. Those that have borrowed money will lose, for fear that if they take the old notes to the bank, I'm sure some serial numbers have been flagged. So yeah, I want to urge anybody who's going to be used out there, if you just take and go and bank certain notes, you might be taking money to the bank that's flagged according to the serial numbers. So you'll be in trouble. So these people will lose millions of kwachas, and that will stabilize, I think, the economy. I'm sure that the circulation of money in the economy was, it's capable of causing a lot of problems in an economy. So that's one area why I believe the administration also went for, these guys are not going to bring out money. And you can trace this from the Bank of Zambia trunks that were found in people's houses, Faith Musonda. It shows that they were taking money straight from Bank of Zambia. So if they've buried that money anywhere, they will lose. So they're going to lose a lot of millions. It's good for us as a nation. And for people who are crying out to say this feature versus that feature, I think people are just, they just want to talk about something. Zambians sometimes, even if they see your maps jogging in the streets, it's a topic for 1 week. So Zambians are lazy sometimes in a very good way. We like entertainment. So they want to talk about that. Having a feature, all these features that have been put there, the Kalambo Falls, the Ngombe, these are historic things and sites. It's an opportunity for the government to go out there and just explain these sites. Why are they important? So our new generation can understand history. So it's a good thing. It's a good rollout. I'm very excited. It's a good thing.
Okay. Beautiful submission. Maybe I can come in, Makalinda. Are you there?
And now, what about Vakasi? Vakasi!
I really don't have a lot to say on these currencies because they do not change anything, even if people complain about it. But I just one concern, we have taken historical factors, historical symbolism, which is good, Ng'ombe Ile Day, Kalambo, and all that. But I wanted us to have a symbol of our freedom, our struggle, which is the freedom statue. Taking it out, I think, to me, didn't sit very well because I was not ready to take it out. We have symbols of our history, which are good tourism, that is Kalambo, Chimba Falls, and all those. But getting the freedom statue out of it, for me, I didn't like that. I would have loved it to remain. Yeah, but introducing other historical features, especially when we are increasing the denomination, we needed a new feature. Probably 500 note. I don't know where Ng'ombe Ile Day is. If it is on a Ng'ombe, it's on 500 or it's on 200. I don't know where it is, and I don't care where it should be. But I didn't just like the aspect of removing the symbol of our freedom. That I think should have stayed there. But anyway, it's what under the bridge.
And but speaker, through the chair, there was something that was debunked by the president himself. The opposition was going around saying HH had put his head on one of the notes.
Oh, yes.
It's not true. The president said it. It's not true. Of course, they are looking for something. So, so for those that are listening, it's not true that the president has put his head there. And for Bahari Calabar to say the economy is going to be affected, don't worry, Bahari, we'll get you the new iPhone. I submit.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Having a conversation that is just supposed to be simple. You have to find a way. Welcome, you have to go fishing for politics somewhere. You must bring politics in. You have to go fishing.
Yeah, but iPhone
if Makombe was your advisor, kuti washala pa nyakarulu mwashapa mchwemana cha washala pa nyakarulu Makombe abo
No, since he wants to play politics, Kairi.
imwe Makombe mwetu washo muntu apa nyakarulu imwe.
If you're coming.
Yeah. Well, look, I think that the new banknotes are it's a good thing for us. Well, first and foremost, there was a complaint from the public, a cry from the public saying, "Indarameshi, na shonaika, we can't even trade properly because shale bonege shale pauka and stuff like that." So there was an outcry from the public. So this government, which is a well-listening government, well-caring government, said, "Okay, abantu balilanda bade kintu baperekwe ndaramasha ishanyoa nishipia." Okay, so now they have coins and we have kwachas, notes. Now I'm not sure, but Danny was saying that the currency is similar to the Canadian one. I think it may be a polymer, because the polymer notes are the ones that are actually washable.
No.
Polymer notes, we had polymer notes even when I was in Zambia a long time ago at one period of time. Banknotes, they've changed throughout the years. I mean, this is not the thing. No. We're not saying that Danny is wrong, and we're not saying that Danny is not right. Umfweni bakazia. This is my dream. Okay,
I'll deal with him later. Don't worry, I'll deal with him later.
So what I'm saying is this: if these are the same polymer notes, because we had once polymer notes years back, I think I got it 1990s somewhere. I can't remember exactly, but we had some polymer notes. Notes have been changing through the courses of the years. We've been De La Rue. We had all these other different people that made the notes for us. Now, panomba, it's an added advantage because security features is vital in today's economy. The way the world is working with technology now, we cannot keep on having ama notes there. We're doing a disservice to our own Zambian people, because anybody can go and reclaim or reprint a money that is not is substandard. So that's why technology is important, and we have to move with the times with technology. So it came at the right time, and if I can also ignite or maybe say what Bakombe was saying, this is actually a good thing, because it's going to bring back all those people that have hidden trunks and trunks and trunks of money. Now, they want to go and change now, because now it's the period is a 1 year period, grace period that's given. 1 year grace period. So for all the old currency to go into to be exchanged. Now, if I have trunks and trunks and trunks of money of old currency, I go to the bank, it's going to raise a red flag. I go with 10 billion. We want to acquire 10 billion. The 10 billion. It's going to raise a red flag. So this is what's happening now. Because in the Lamasha foolish, issue old currency, but sponsor abantu bene mausamparomba, but is now a darling to all the sudden kuli lungu. We want to acquire some he was even calling himself Mbampe.
What has Lungu got to do with this?
No, well, this is my time. This is my time. Let me talk. Can I talk?
I think we need to have some context.
So,
can we have time limits, please?
Yes. What has Lungu done?
No.
Go ahead.
Instead of saying something else, there's something else. Can we give each other time to finish our points?
Yeah, make your points. Wind up, Papa.
Okay,
I'm
so
just saying, let's have 2 minutes.
valedisera ibwenga mulelanda tatwaimie vyati no valedisera hapa mofoko mwalandesi mwilanda so landeni so because my best friend wakazia walasta
tufile twamweva.
Okay, finish up.
My point is clear.
Wind up.
Okay, my point is clear. I'm just saying, like, look, I was just tapping on what Wakombe said. Like, people now are going to be bringing in Dalamashia, and then they want to exchange into the new currency. And it's going to reveal the real people that actually store the money, which is a good thing. It's another security. Because we're talking about security features. Security features not my features. Features is also the actual money. Okay, so ingalau kwatenda la mashira munshi ya mpando tawakashibonfye mwalatampa fyo kola pera fya ama opposition ni Nashara Nega party to campaign against HH. I end here.
Great, Valet Sarah, come in with your points on the new banknotes.
What did you say?
We are talking about the new banknotes. Your comment.
Me, I'm shocked at the new banknotes. See, then they will bring someone who will store. Yeah, you know, these new banknotes. There's money being used to print those banknotes, and we've always said that the hospitals have no medication. Hospitals are not having good equipment. Why are you wasting money on printing new banknotes? And the other thing is, those new banknotes, 200, it all shows that the economy is down. The economy is not doing well. It's not performing well. America, the Africa kona kuli 500, you know, $100 opo ya pera. Imwe na mwambo kufika katushinga ni kuli 200 nga ni kuisoko. You can shake your head, but you look like that. I can see you.
Vasera ngalira chilanda panga vandia. Ngalira chilanda vakombe ngana vandia.
I just started talking. Why are you coming in?
Yes. Let finish Chanda.
You're the one who's talking. I mean, stuff is so in.
I'm saying.
Let her finish, Rachel.
Notion here because it makes me wonder how that can happen. how you can catch a thief by changing the banknotes, by printing banknotes.
Wow.
Then you can catch the thief. Oh,
Wow.
so they will start
Yeah,
bringing the money. Yeah.
Bakombe.
So for me, I think it's not the right thing to be doing.
Basera mwalanji paya, basera mwalanji paya.
Why? Ngabali print up to 100 definitely. Why can't you print new up to 100? Why print if you have a 200, 500? Why?
Mwalanji paya basera lekeni.
All right. Are you done, by Lady Sarah? There's a reason why I call her the lady of substance.
I'm done, my sister. I'm done.
There's a reason why
Basera mwalanji paya imwe.
there's a reason why I call her the lady of substance. Welcome, your rebuttal. I saw your lips moving.
I don't know if I should come. I think response Kazira says it all. First and foremost, no, like tulande. Ke expense ukupangin darama ishanyu. Ke expense yo. The government was losing money by continuously printing money because she didn't pay shakareta shari shakosa. So every now and then they will take the old notes and print under banknotes. That's one. Two, the problem abantu bale pangem pia shiria. Bali katilepo tactic kama features, so would have money in circulation abantu bachita print. So by bringing ama features ya kwatu muntu te touch the print, you are saving money. By bringing a situation where the mwalech reprint every 6 months or 1 year, now it will be every 1 year, 7 months, we are saving money. Two, ichalale ngati abantu bafumye mpia basera. Like for instance, ba PF abayibire mpia. Twalishi bati balishika because evidence was there. There were trunks air coupons that were found. It shows you that money was moving straight from both man and abantu. So ngabali shika ma million because vale tina. No, lekani mpwishe bakazira. Ngabali shika basere mpia for instance muntu alishinkala ngufe, let's just for giggles 20 million kwa charge. Lekani tupwishe. You are going to explain your so ngabali shika basero muntu 50 million alishika. Na liba ineno mbata ishibofo naiba twalifumyo kufuma kuboza. Ngamwachinja currency shiriempi apakwa tashite claim afuira shifumia ese achinje. The government realized that there was a lapse in the money that was supposed to be in circulation. Bamona pali gap ishimpia shimbita shimoneka. So how do you force abantu abafisa ukufumia rupia chinje ni currency? Ngamwachinja bala abaforce ukufumia because ngatabafumia bala lusa. I'm trying very hard to explain it. So ine yakuba forcing apakwat because impia, for instance, impia nga tashidi shingi mu circulation shila causing instability mu economy. So at all times money has to be bachirwa wale print upon impia after campaign bashfumya futi mu circulation. This time around there is a large sum of money that's missing in circulation. How do we force them to bring it out? Change any currency. Nomba balaya shikulempi shiri abalete. Nomba ama serial number ngatwalieshi, but then you are going to arrest some people. Or you just force them to put it back in the economy. Mwatipela example ya America. At America yena tabapangala ma 200 na 500. America dollar veda vaipangira fi. Tabepushana ngumu yo. Vena bala panga, that's why ngakulinkondo basera. Tibachita print na 10 billion. After yapo enkondo ku Iraq bafumya shonse baposa. Nobody questioned them. Bali kwa tenko ngole $37 trillion. Tapali chalo chingachita survive. They can manage because they print their own money. Economy ya kunoni plastic. You can't even compare na Zambia yo. Yabu fifye. Nide yabu mwela fye. Because at any time mubelanga bale for funding. Tabaya muku kongola kubantu. Bala printer. So that's the difference. Yeah. So changing the currency was necessary for all these reasons, some of the reasons that I've stated. One, the money was not durable. The government was spending money. Two, money has been stolen, you know. Three, abantu bale printer money at will. So, ukupange PH basera te expensive yo. We are doing us a service. So I in there. I was trying by all means to
Yeah,
come
you were trying. That's
Mhm.
why you're saying you're trying, because it's difficult for you to explain the wrong thing that has been done.
What is the wrong thing?
The wrong thing. Why didn't they print the new notes up to 100 kwacha? Why is it
Um,
200? Why?
Okay, okay. So
Features.
Vasera,
Excuse me, let
okay,
me finish.
okay.
Features leo balebika kwacha balebika features yanyu nishe twapangire fefirafine 20 kwacha 50 kwacha up to 100. Why is it 200? Why? It
Mhm.
shows that the economy is not doing very well.
Well,
Okay.
we didn't say the economy is doing well. Is the economy doing well in the US?
No, what I'm trying
Oh,
to say
thank you.
is that
I rest my case
why
then.
wasting time? Kulabika fi 200 na fi
Okay.
500.
Namwita-
Why?
namwisi
Why
ba-
it's big not?
Vasera,
Umuntu
Vale de
ungalisa
Sera. Okay,
200
Vale de
kwacha.
Sera, now we
Listen,
share
let
it.
me finish. Umuntu ungalisa 200 kwacha ngalisa drop 200 kwacha. Do you know that it will be very painful for a person to just drop 200 kwacha? Why are you
Akwila
putting
kosa.
such big notes?
Okay.
Why?
Okay. Okay. Vale de Sera. I think we need to
but
Can
where
we,
we
FA
need to
ask me
educate.
to spend Zambezi.
we need
That
to
what
move
if we
on.
start talking over each other,
Yeah.
then we're not going to understand each other.
You are the best culprit, actually.
So let
Actually, I'm not talking over each other. I let Bakombe push, and he was addressing me, and I was responding to him. You are the one who is coming in between.
Shall we move? Shall we move?
what Wakombe is trying to say, we're in tandem with what he's saying. I'm just trying to amplify and maybe give you a different angle of understanding of these things. Okay? Limbi, in my way, you'll be able to understand why he asked me that question. So now we share it push. And nishi babiki nama 200 nama 500. Therefore, I need to explain it to you so that muishibe. Zambia is not the only country equate those kind of high denominations. In Europe, all over Europe is the thing. Doesn't mean that Europe is economy tiny bit. Because Europe quality 200 number 500. Notes.
Which country has those notes, Vatan?
Oh my God. If you go to the euro itself,
About 500 euro.
yes, there's
Oh.
10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500.
Okay.
Botswana has
Okay?
even
So
Zambia.
Zambia does now
Even South Africa.
oh sorry, Kalinda.
No, I'm just adding, like in Africa, Botswana has, South Africa has.
Exactly. So it's not a matter of a country is not doing well. That's why we're having these big notes. No. What the concept, Minister of Finance, what they want to do is make it easy for people who are doing large or big businesses. For instance, Vakazia, kushita chitipa worth $50,000. Okay? Instead of him, maybe he can just have a few notes. I mean, it's just an absurd example, but it would be easier for somebody to carry in the machine in smaller notes if you're doing big business. But it doesn't restrict you because kulindala machine no shiria. Tabaliranda mwonse mule wovya 200 naman. No. Kuliyama 20, you can still use ama 50. Kulinama coin. Kulinama coin foot. You can still use the coins. So it's up to your level of type of business. See? That's how you operate. So they're not for and kulia kwali banama banks for Zambia. Ngawaya ku bank tetwe nkubeba ufola 500 kwacha. And then I'm paying 500 yonse. Awe bane mpeli mama 20 kwacha. Nakupera ma 20 kwacha. Okay?
Let's wind up. Let's wind up.
I rest my case. Maybe that explains.
Vakalinda.
Like
Vakalinda. I under probably 1 minute. You see, ngaturepo sana na reality of what people go through on a daily basis, and we take a Eurocentric view of things. We are not helping matters. One of the concerns that Vasera was raising is that, is this really necessary at this point in time? When you are compensated, oh, we are not wasting money. Money is going to be wasted for printing. $10 million went through that. Well, our finance minister confirmed that $10 million is a lot. It's a lot of money. It can do a lot in Zambia. But you see, ngachakwa tumwalaikala bwino bakombe. And we see if you elite, elo mule tumfiaba nenu so be it ngaponya lwakwe. When Wasera is raising an issue to say, umuntu ngaponya 500 kwa shaponya salary. Why don't you stick with the smaller denominations until it's a sign, one of the biggest signs that you know, whether we like it or not in economics. High denominations is a signal about the performance of the current economy. Yeah?
I just finished explaining that, Wakazia.
Actually,
I just finished explaining that, Wakazia.
Bachanda, if I'm little under the nation, then enough percent. Monfaka. Imwebo, imwapa tule mieba. The problem, if you are man who want to feel bali kokolo kumfwa. Ngawala pusha 10 minutes to for London repa chindo cha bantu bali kukanya. Ni shefe rela ndeta filipanga sensi. Efe mule chita imwe no buteko bwene. Abantu bale mieba. Ichita chiweme. Manje fitala. Anyway, Mwalishi Mafionse, go ahead.
So Bakazira, it's very shocking that you've just the amount that you've pegged on the changing of banknotes is $10 million, right? Do you know how much a year Zambia spends on counterfeit? Do you know? Do you know how much money is missing in circulation? Because abantu benu ba PF imwe Mwarishika. Do you know how many millions of dollars?
See, let me address that.
You won't even compare the 10 million. Do you know?
Let me answer.
Just say yes or no.
No, I'm answering
it's
you.
A yes or no question. Do you know?
I'm answering you. Don't dictate how I should answer.
I should because I'm the one who's asking.
No.
Yes or no? Do you know or you don't?
No, because it doesn't exist.
Oh, you don't know.
This. No, this fiction that you have been creating of people burying money somewhere.
First
stop lying. Okay. We want to create an illusion that Antoine bali shikendera mesho tamwamona. Ubufi weka bweka.
Shikendera mwashika imwe.
Munebe po ubufi.
We are
umwana birthday mwashite myoto ka
Lekeni ubufi.
Birthday ya mwana mwamushire myoto ka
It is not helping our country.
Ceasefire.
Ubufi bachiremo.
Ceasefire.
Things mumutwe mwapanga. Awe.
Ceasefire.
Holy Father, help me. Holy Father. All right. Dr. Danny had something, a last minute chip in.
All right. I've just gotten my friend in Zambia who is working for Bank of Zambia. He inspects other banks. They call him an examiner, bank examiner, whatever they call it. He's just texted me here. He says, you guys don't know what you're talking about. And I said, I'm reading word for word. We spent $10 million to print new notes as Bank of Zambia.
Mm-hmm.
We used to spend $25 to $50 million a year for Zambia to maintain on the digital and automated banking systems. Maintaining of modern ATMs, vending machines, and cash counting machines in Zambia were costing us $25 to $50 million because of our old currency. There we go, Bachanda. Those are numbers.
Thank you. What did we tell you, Bachanda?
We spent $10 million to spend this. This is coming from Bank of Zambia. We used to spend only maintaining Zambia to remain on modern digital and automated banking systems in the world. We needed modern ATMs, vending machines, and cash counting machines. Our old ATM machines, vending machines were costing us $25 to $50 million a year.
Thank you.
The end of a story.
How much are they going to spend?
Thank you very much, Vadani, for that information. And that is what I respect that. When I get corrected, that, yes.
And that's one reason only.
Vadani, thank you ndeva kuti first correct vakombe ubufi ndekana bwakwe vantu munosapanga kuti mwalishike ndalama
Walishike mpia imwe.
that is a manufactured thing in the head yavakombe
Nishi mulekani na.
ndekana because mune zvipanga vyabufi.
You know, it's not just in the PS, even in MMD. Even in MMD. If you remember in the MMD, there was one minister who was in farm.
Vatandana vakombe lumbule nipo umo washike ndalama on this platform.
Mengi sana.
Was that Valentine Mubita or Mwene?
Lumbule nipo umo washike ndalama.
Ati
Valentine Mubita or Mwene, I think what was his name?
Ashikire ku farm.
Nili atoulia.
No, but some examples he could
3 billion ashikire. Listen, Bakazira, this was communicated to us by the government.
Vakombe umuntu ngaipusha question yimu nimye vati pali va PF ava apapo landeni po ishinalimo uwashike ndalama.
Awe, no, mwaneni tulandira venjero mwalishiko mpia.
Ebufi winobo.
So mwaneni Bakazira. Through the chair. Through the chair. 5 minutes ago, we were explaining.
Ladies first, can I speak?
Okay. Yeah, no, go ahead.
ATMZ, blah, blah, blah. ATMZ, fiali chitashani. So, tabakula mwamfiyama ATMZ. So, tabakala chita ishimpia shaisa. Shamu ya. Therefore, kuipushia.
Dr. Danny, come in before Vakombe because that question is
okay.
Dr. Danny.
What is happening, for example, the modern ATMs have they need special features, security features of some currency. And our currency didn't have certain security features to be used in the modern ATM machines. And therefore, they were spending more money maintaining. He says they were spending 25, banks in Zambia were spending $25 to $50 million a year maintaining the old ATM machines, vending machines, and cash counting machines. Because it's like you driving a 25-year-old car. Maintenance of that car.
Or like change,
high.
brake upgrade, stuff like that. Okay.
Yes, because you have to keep those ATM machines working, and you have to be putting parts and then you need to. He's saying here we needed to be part of the digital and automated banking, international banking systems. Mm-hmm. So we need to be. If you have your credit card from US, when you go to Zambia, you should be able to work in that ATM because those ATMs are communicating like brother in Zambia, brother in New York. But if we don't have those features in our money, we cannot be part of the international digital and automated banking systems. So we need to progress as a country.
The world has gone.
Sister Kalinda, let him finish because I have another question.
Okay. Yeah, that's all. That's the way I got it from him. We need to be part of the international.
So to maintain those ATM and everything, because Vale focus that Vale Sungen Dalama, whatever, ask him that. So number Chala Bashan, did it need to go to 200, 500 knots? Was it necessary?
It was very necessary.
No, I'm not asking you, Vakombe. I want him to ask you. I want Danny to ask the banker.
We are going to go with this. Dr. Danny will answer, and then we're going to close the discussion on money by Vakombe.
Unfortunately, I didn't answer that question. For next forum, I think I will have an answer from him. But your question is, why did we create bigger denominations instead of just remaining with the smaller ones? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something for the next time. I'll keep that in my mind, and I'll answer that question next time I contact him.
All right, great.
Through the chair, I think part of the answer, your question, part of it was answered by Bachanda. I had mentioned for easy trading. And this was communicated by even the finance minister. He said it for easy trading That was one of the reasons, right? So now when it comes to the other questions she asked, she said, Nomba Bushama ATM yanyu takwa maintenance. The maintenance will be there, but it will be less. This thing was the very thing we were talking to you about 20 minutes ago. The very thing that the bankers said. The very thing. This is right.
No,
Just
but
because somebody else had said it.
no,
We were
but the
telling you.
the question.
In the coming months, when one is arrested or two,
This is when you can talk. Bakombe, at that point Bakombe, and Bakalinda, I want to respond in 15 seconds. Bakombe, you see, when you start to manufacture things that don't exist, no, then you can talk about them. You see, it is embarrassing.
So why
When
would you say Obufi before you know?
Because there's nobody who you can mention. Now,
All right, all right. All right. So
how did Faith Msonda get that trunk from Bank of Zambia?
Yes. How did
I don't know how Faith Msonda got in, but to say the money was buried, I say no.
If Faith Msonda got a trunk full of money from Bank of Zambia, what more?
So exactly. It means that the money is buried.
Right.
How can we be so naive? Do you drink blood? Should someone just wake up and say, "Are you PND Mulanwomulopa?" How do you do that?
All right.
Sense.
We are
You should
done.
have evidence in the way.
We are done. Let's move on. All right. So the next conversation is really heartbreaking.
This is my phone.
Whose phone? Okay, it's not me. All right. So the next discussion we're gonna have is a discussion which is really breaking my heart, even as a mother. So we have civil organization in Zambia championing the castration of anybody caught or suspected with child abuse, especially rape, molestation and all that. I don't know how we have gotten to this point where 3-year-old girls are being raped by their parents, 10-year-olds are being raped by their parents infected with HIV, and you have mothers going to police, asking the police to release the perpetrator of such a gruesome action against one's own biological child. The mothers go there, they're asking for his release and then giving up the daughter to the state. Zambians, what has gone wrong with our morals where we are sleeping with our own children as young as 3-year-olds being gang raped by older men? As a parent, I can't see it. It's something that really has touched my heart this week, and I'm pulling my hairs. So maybe castration is the way to go.
Can I come in, Marcel?
Yes, go ahead.
It baffles. It is something that is so hateful for me. It hurts, and to start to even think about because probably if you castrate them, they will still have. I don't know what we should do to them. Katwish. Maybe mwamutula kwa menso, or you remove something that should, so that, because if you castrate, you still be having his hands and legs to do stuff. He can still harm somebody. We must do something. It hurts. Sorry, I am on this one. I lose my mind on it. Let me just keep there. It hurts. I think we must. I don't know. Ngakumocha ngakubachita shani maybe tulevochafi fyawama kumwamusenda fyomuntu mwamocha filafine send a signal to others. You see, and then because if you jail them, we will be giving them money to go again, in this to go back and enjoy in prison. Something must really, really be done. Number one, okay, on the other extreme, on the other human part of it is that we need really to scale up in terms of surveillance. We need to really scale up in terms of information and be able to teach and programs that should target these men and it
But
hurts
the issue
sorry.
is happening it's happening in our own homes, and then the adults are protecting.
Hello, women, and then you see the women go back and say, "Mulekeni umulume wesu."
Yes.
What kind of nonsense is that? Sure. What is it that you are doing? Because how can you go na imwevo after umuntu atafira kumwana ero mwaya atantama batatu nabo atule mufula muwesheni? We must flip this question back to you. Fish mulefu aya.
It's witchcraft.
Sarah, come in.
For me, what I can say about this, number one, Zambia is a Christian nation. So castrating, whatever. No one needs to be castrated. There are jails. They should just put stiff laws on those who are committing such crimes.
The laws are there. The laws are there.
Stiff, as in stiff, like death sentence or whatever, or not even death, but life, not a tafu marangusha. What I'm trying to say is that tuma propheti, utuma pastors, you go sleep with your daughter, go sleep with a small child, then warawina. If you ask these people who are committing this, they were lied. They were told to go and do this, some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. So even these people over there, Azama prophets, they should be, watched. And who are they talking to? So stiff punishment is needed to this.
Back on the.
This topic is very heavy, and it's just sad. It's very sad. And if you look at one of the cases that came up with the three ladies, the young child, bali mpela na HIV, bawi. It's just inhuman. That first and foremost, the government should really, 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 really come up with a way of sentencing these people in such a way that they never come out. Even people around, if they know this thing has been happening for a while, people have to be answerable. They should be punished. This is not the first time that these things are happening. Back in the day, kids were not allowed to talk about it. Most women, not most, a good number of women today have been molested before. These things were not being talked about. I think the Ministry of Community Development really should come up with all these programs and encourage. We are just learning about these things today because of social media and people having access to phones. But these things have been going around. So I think the punishment should be so stiff. Let's use a few people as examples to send a strong signal that these animal behaviors should end. Castration I would vote for that, because you don't want that person to come back and even do anything close to that. It's just sickening. A lot of women have gone into marriages today having been molested in the past, and they couldn't say anything. And marriages have a lot of problems. In this case, someone nabampela na HIV. Come on now. Come on. Those women should be jailed because they're heartless. Should be jailed and used as examples. The media should go and over-report on that case so that whoever is in that kind of a situation, if you know something, say something about it. Or else, if we find out, you are going to be answerable. That's what the government should be saying. Punishment, over punishing is the only solution. Witnesses and the culprit. It's sad.
Dr. Liswanis.
Ah, very, very sad. I don't know. It's you can run out of words when you just imagine in your head that a father would molest his own 3-year-old baby. Ah, I don't know. Now, I have a suggestion myself. All of us would agree that the children, the young people, babies are the sweetest people you can ever have around. And to harm this group of human beings really is the worst thing you can ever do. Here we are creating special courts for people that mismanage our money in government and
Right.
punish them. This type of crime it deserves its own special court. Let's create our own court that deals with these devilish type of thinking of people. We have created one. What do they call it now? The whatever financial something court of whatever. For people, the politicians that steal our money, they go to what do they call the expedited type of hearings, and let's have one for these molesters. Let's have one so that we deal with them within 24 hours or within 1 week. They're dealt with. You know, I saw the Minister of Justice talk very, very strongly in Parliament. He should definitely suggest such an establishment or whatever they call it. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not what, but there should be an establishment that gets these people within the shortest period of time and punish them severely. You know, they need a special court. They need they shouldn't go to a normal court like any other person. No, because they are criminal. They're the devils. The other thing that we should be doing is we should also be prosecuting, as Lady Sarah said, prosecuting the people. Most of these stories have prophet associated with it or a witch doctor associated with it. All of them that I've heard about. They have a prophet or a witch doctor that told them, go and bring an eye of an albino child. Imagine, go and sleep with your 3-year-old daughter and all the type of thing. Those people must be dealt with. The witch doctors, the Nganga, the Bashinganga, whatever, they should also be dealt with because it is becoming very, very common now for these witch doctors to say, oh, you have AIDS. Go and sleep with the baby and your AIDS will go. That's what one man said in Chipata, that, oh, I've got HIV. The medicine man says, go and sleep with a 5-year-old girl and you'll clean again. So we should punish both. The person that is indoctrinating the other and the one that is doing a terrible thing, they should equally be punished. If it's life imprisonment, they should both go in jail for life. Now, talking about the laws that govern or that punish these people, did you know that under our own government, the laws, the punishments in court have become less? Did you know that? We've reduced the sentencing because we believe the jails should be rehabilitation centers and not punishing people. So we have reduced the sentencing, and so it's something which is not good. We really need to stiffen some of these sentences to some of these groups of people. All right, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for us to be talking about this. We really need to deal with these type of people amongst us seriously and very, very swiftly. It's disturbing, very disturbing. Thank you.
Wow. Yes. I mean, and it's also a two-fold. What happens to the kids? You know, like in this instance, a 10-year-old was infected with HIV/AIDS, and we don't know about the 3 men that raped a 3-year-old baby. What happens to the kid? The mental, psychological portion of them. Do we have such services in Zambia to handle that? Because those kids have to go under therapy, probably for almost the rest of their lives. It's the 10-year who be put on medication, and she'll have to take medication for the rest of her life because of the abuse she got under the hands of somebody who's supposed to protect her, love her. And for her, really, even the mother doesn't love her. What kind of an adult are we going to get who will know because she'll be watching a video showing her mother telling the police to take her to an orphanage, or the state should take over and then release the abuser? What happens to them? Gentlemen, come in.
There's also
Um,
something, sorry,
I
just
think
1 minute, Bachanda, before you come in. There's also something that's very common now in our country, which people are not talking about. The prophets are sleeping with women. One prophet slept with 20 women in a day.
Huh?
Yes. So
wow.
this is also something happening, and we're not talking about it because these women are willingly sleeping with these prophets for money, for stable marriages, for infertility, and all that. That's specialty now in some prophets in Zambia, sleeping with women every day. And these women are, they say it's consensual, it's this, but we have to stop this nonsense as well. We have to stop it. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a very deep topic. Through the chair, Madam Speaker, if you can allow me to expand on it a little bit more.
Yeah, take your time.
So, what I've cultivated through all this process is this: we have a failed system in terms of the police, the health, and social welfare. Now, why do I mention these three departments? These three departments need to be working hand in hand. Now, police, we have Cotton Call, a victim support unit, which is defined, which is it is not even working, it's not even in operation, really. Now, what the government needs to do now, the minister, Jack Mwimbo, since you are the head, can you find what you call it? Can you come up with a team or call up a meeting between you yourself, the Minister of Health, and Social Welfare? I don't even know who represent that department anyway. But in the police service, let's have proper victim support units with real trained professionals that handle issues of child abuse and defilement and GBV. Properly trained people, not when somebody reaches reception at iwe because you were no. There should be an actual unit with an actual number. Now, what did I mention? The health. If a doctor or a nurse notices certain things, it should be legislated by law for that doctor or nurse to report to the Child Protective Services, which is under social welfare. So we need to have all these units put in place professionally with professional people, whereby if they suspect something, within minutes, there'll be a knock on your door. Just like the way the modern world works. And these are individuals paid by the government through the coffers. The government is training individuals. Let's train people in these areas. Once we have a victim support unit, a real unit, not something that's just on paper, in all police departments, then we also have Child Protective Services under social welfare. And by law. Now, here's the thing. You gave an example, Bakalinda. You're talking about these women, 3 of them, they went to the police saying, oh, can you release our husband and can you take our child away? That should be an automatic thing. Here, if a child is suspected of being abused, you're going to see social protective services on your door. And immediately, they will remove that child, or immediately remove that a woman has been abused, and they're going to take them to a safe haven. All these houses that were being forfeited to the government can be used, turn them into safe havens for children and women being abused. That's what we can do. Because lero mwana ulya, okay, basta find out this person no, automatically, because that's government trophy. You cannot allow mwana to be in the hands of an abuser when there's reports of being abused. No. Remove them right away, and then the court process proceed. If they find somebody is innocent or guilty, then everything works out. So we need to stabilize. We need to establish these departments: Child Protective Services, Victim Support Unit, through the police, with proper department, well funded by the government. And I believe even international community can even come in, especially when it comes to children. They can come and sponsor that unit very well. Child Protective Services, where children, we can even go and lobby. If they want somebody to lobby for them, I can even go there and lobby, if you want, here in Canada. How we can keep our children safe. Okay? Because we don't need these things to be happening. Why are they happening? Why are the laws weak? Why are the laws weak? I'm sorry if I talked too much, but I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
No, I'm just saying that's good. I'm agreeing with what you are saying, Mwalanda.
Yeah. So
what you're saying is true.
Yeah. So those are the things we need to do. Those properties that we forfeited through the government, let's create safe havens. Safe haven for children and women being abused. Immediately when somebody, even neighbor, you suspect somebody abuse you. You have a number you call. There should be that kind of system. And there should be somebody answering on the other end. Not if you have the Child Protective Service on a VS, there's nobody, there are no professionals there. You need professionals who are working there, employed by the government, professionals, not psychologists, real employed by the government, so that can counsel through that drama. Because that is huge. You can imagine one only 5, 6 years old being exposed to those kind of things.
But I mean, look at that prophetess who kept a dead body for 2 years. Huh? Zambia. Anyway, shall we move on to the last topic of the day? We are already 2 hours and 32 minutes in. That's not the plan was, but as always, we talk too much on this thing, and we love it. Anyway, let's go to the last topic of the day, and which was what was that topic about? Oh, let me just read this comment before we go there. From Masilisa, he goes, it should be the castration of the human heart leading to changes in human behavior. I wish you could explain more on that, what he means there. But we're not going to dwell on it. So let's talk about, the final one. It's former Vice President Evers Mumba supporting the Constitutional Amendment Bill. He held a press conference. He didn't see anything wrong with it, and so we have more voices. Also, we had actually today, one of the leading civil human rights executive, in the name of Isaac Mwanza, also supporting the constitutional amendment bill. And as always, the other side, who will remain nameless, they are accusing of our former vice president of being owed by the current government to speak positively on the proposed amendments. Shall we start with on this one? Because both you and the former vice president served under the PDF regime. Well, actually, no. I take that back. But anyway, Vakazia, your comment on Bazimba and our leading civil rights executive supporting the amendments. Mulai Pika, who's cooking? I know I've gone too much. People are hungry. Vakazia, are you there? Or you've gone fishing? How about we just go to let's switch Kuli Bakombe. Bakombe. Your comments
What is the question again? I'm sorry.
on the former vice president, Nevas Mumba's support of the constitutional amendments, and the other side accusing him of being a paid piper.
I think, thank you so much. I think Pastor Nevers Mumba has proven to be a well-meaning Zambian. The opposition, they don't like him, or for reasons best known to themselves. He's a man who puts the country first and is looking at amendments and how progressive most of them are. And he's telling them, let's not just oppose for the sake of opposing. Now, they might not like that, but I think he's standing where most Zambians are. And he was telling them, he called them out not to be hypocrites. They turned the message to say he was bashing the administration or the UPND. And they managed to take it out of context, and they edited it to look like, and they actually made headlines saying, Dr. Neves Mumba, tells off the UPND, which wasn't the case. He's a very sober-minded Zambian who loves the country. Now, most people might not like him because of his political stance, because he says the truth. This is my opinion. So he's not wrong when he says, let's look at the amendments closely and how progressive they are. Most of them are progressive, he said. So I agree with him 100%. And I understand the backlash because people don't like him. He's supporting the administration. But I applaud him because he's a man of principle, and he has never actually moved on that. He puts Zambia first. So I think he's right on this one.
Great. Bakazir, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I was probably talking to myself. I tried, but
yeah, we couldn't hear you. Go
so
ahead.
so on the issue of Vanevas Mumba, the only thing I have with Vanevas is that his inconsistency. And if he was consistent, this time would have been president actually. But he's always looking for where the opportunity is. Now, kwabaka opportunity akasuma, he will jump on it. And he's very good because he's an orator. He can defend. You know, he can manage. Whenever can sell you a fish which is rotten, but convince you that all you need to do
Yeah.
Because if you look at the trajectory here he has been, and also the selectiveness when when he doesn't want to offend the power be it that he's trying to align himself to. Balachita bwino sana. He is excellent at that.
Uh-huh.
And right now, he is very good usage for the UPND government. Very good. And it would not surprise me to hear the comment that I'm having to see here. That, oh, it's very good, is what? Go back and check the record, his track record of where he has been. Why is it that he's worked with every president that is there, every one of them? And he will oppose those that are opposing the current. He will always works with the incumbency. So he will say good things about the incumbents. If he's not rewarded properly with the incumbents, he will jump off and be able to speak to that. The issue rather than the Fiamma constitution review, every person that has some level of authority around the constitution in terms of those that have been involved in both at consultative level process and also at enactment level process, they've said no to this process that we want to embark on. Now we are having members of parliament, ministers now rushing over into the constituencies to go and start trying to convince people that the amendment is good. This amendment is bad. Don't go through that process. Let the elections be held, and then after that, the constitution can be amended. Whenever, even where you go on his page, the things people tell him, the only thing is that because he knows how to actually massage the fingers that are feeding him very well. He is excellent at that. I wish I could learn how to run around with that. So he's a good leader. I think he's a very good pastor. As a person, he's very good. He speaks really good. But it's his level of inconsistency that I find a problem. And also, even at times when he is correcting the wrong, ngabalelanda tukana, balalanda pali kawai me. Of course, nobody, including myself, I don't like it. But the selective nature of why me vis-a-vis Chibokolo has created a problem in the country right now. Why me is being bashed. Ichibokolo, government is quiet about it. He will throw another video insulting it. Nobody talks about it. And government is looking the other way. As long as there's double standards, there's a law that applies for people that are insulting Idi Galungu, and there's a law that for people that are insulting President HH, that will not happen. We need a law that is consistent in all areas, including when the Vice President Vaneva Smumba speaks. He must speak to the consistency that what is wrong in PF must be wrong in UPND, and then he's going to get the respect that is required when he stands to speak.
Wonderful submission there. Shall we move on to the Lady Sarah?
Yes, we are talking about Vanevas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Mandi. Vanevasi. Vanevasi, I think he's too broke. Vanevasi is too broke. So, anybody I want to talk about, so I can go this side. Yeah, so Vanevasi, he can even say if HH was to walk alone, he can say it's okay. Let him walk on the streets without security, even when it's wrong. So, like like Makazia said, every time there is a ruling party, Vanevasi is to work with in the first place, if Nevers was very good and Nevers was kind enough and Nevers knew what he was doing, he wouldn't have stood on the ballot paper in 2021 if he really cared for UPND. Don't say the way he was bashing HH. You can't even believe that this is a pastor who is now clinging to UPND. The way he was campaigning against UPND when him is on the MMD copy, So me, I don't trust such people. I don't,
Vamuserera kwa kaba.
Yes, the best thing this man can do now, if he can just, Victor Ministries, Zambia shall be saved. That's the best thing he can do. But for now, the man is broke. So apakulila kupalamina nabakwete salt and sausage and everything. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
Can the speaker defend herself? She said the man is broke. Can you show evidence that whenever is broke?
Let me tell you one thing, Kombi. Brokenness, Vanevasi is not broke to you, right? Vanevasi in his own capacity as a human being, as Mundu Alipona vice president, Uwalina ku Canada, is broke at that level where he is right now.
Vakombe twalisho okuba pressinga kwali afya vakombe.
Our definition ya broke ya shupe.
Vakombe nga mulefu okuti ifintu ifya abantu abantu tebakokola kumfwa. Tebakokola yo. Ifi balemyebo ifi. Fyakwe bati fimwe fintu kwikala fimwe ikala fyezi. Don't try to defend them because abantu abahutukira.
So imwenga mafuma mu diaspora mwaku Zambia and you be regarded as broke.
No, it's not that. Yeah, I would
say the man in Canada, but mwaku Zambia is broke.
If I'm going to go to Zambia and start
one person at a time.
Finofine, I don't like corruption. Mailo mwasa mfati bachandana abapela kandalama. Hello, baba prove that now. What kind of nonsense? Namushi okulaba ukwata kwa ma values chintu chimwe chisuma.
So nikwisa baba parent pia.
Ndenda pe example, ndepela asuka example ya enu. Chinanda ati bali bapela ndalama baneva sine yo. Defendela ndayo. Tulela ndokwe bati umuntu ufira wakwata ku value. Not ukwalolo mwera na yoko walola.
Wakazia, let me also go further. You know, if you to follow if you're to follow, Whatever never, like I've already said that in 2021, the way he was bashing the UPND and the presidency, the way he was campaigning against. Let me just finish. You know, this is what we are talking about. There was something that happened at Bakulaya Muma countries. Banevas is one of the people that Katusha envoy, whatever. He was put there. But there are so many UPND youth. People have some big bigger popular than you could be up over Nevers Mumba. Why you want to why Minna Combe? Gamma for one, Kashmiri Baby. Eh? You I am we know Combe, Monica. I'm very more we know don't want to cash. Tomorrow, no one touch Kabi, we are to go Pongosh. Yeah, type of behavior.
I think the issue like any support for president. The president was speaking, I'm a former vice president. And he used all of them, Vakavindele, Mianda, Navanevas. He was using them to represent the country. Tetvabule in their position ya VP, Vapera in the Pantuneo Kada, Wapi,
But what I'm trying to say is that this is the kind of number, later Mupepi Vanevas, Numbakula support, a fifty fiance, blah, 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 yes, because he's broke.
So, finish if you are wrong for our support, for him, support.
What Vanevas is supporting, which people, and most people have said no to. Number one, you see, Vanevas is on a platform where he was totally in disagreement with whatever UPND was doing. And even wanting to be president over the current president right now. Now, constitution process here is to make a constitution process. People are saying no. If you support, if you are wrong, the church has said no, Laz has said no. We don't expect anything from you. Imwe bakombe as a kada mufire mwa imwe mwa support icho chintu nango abantu nabachikana imwe mufire mwa leta chapanga sensi so
amendments.
Can I chime in real quick?
Oh, so you want to chime in even before people finish? You can chime in, Bacha.
No. Because you guys have been talking and I've been listening. Now, Mulanda Vakazia.
ingireni mo
Munjere nga
bachanda
mwakwisha bana.
awe ingireni mukali kuti yantu chimeni
No, just finish. Finish your point.
issues about the constitution making process. It is a one party kind of driven project. It's not a national driven project. Because when it's a national driven project,
no, you are overreaching. Let's use the right. Let's use the right terminology.
No,
the terminology is there. Some who
what terminology have I used?
You are saying national. It's being opposed. There are some groups that oppose.
I am coming to justifying my statement, Kalinda.
No, let's not say, because the first impression, they say that cuts the deepest.
Yes, but I have a justification. I can't just make a statement without justification. Then that statement is rotten.
Go ahead.
When I say it is lacking in the national character about it, is that there are distinguished groupings of civil society that was part of the very supporters of UPND when UPND was in opposition. And they were opinion setters. They were consulted. LAS is an example. Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia is an example. The Catholic bishops, the others, the civil society movement. They were the people that were mostly consulted. And the things that UPND government did to bring out this, the misconceptions, this one, the president saying one thing, Gleson Amasaka saying one thing, the Minister of Justice saying one thing, it's created a problem of not being trusted as to have been a fully consultative process. The roadmap to it has been rushed. Everybody agrees the constitution must be dealt with, but not at this pace that you want to deal with it. So that is where the objection which the country has placed on UPND. But then UPND is pushing ahead with it, irrespective of what these
have issues. When you say which the country,
when I say
which country,
Zambia actually, Zambia,
no, that's the
Zambia,
problem.
Zambia,
say
some Zambian. Yeah, because I agree with you.
The whole country.
I withdraw the word "all" to mean some.
Yes.
Or majority, according to me.
Oh,
so there is a minority. When I say the majority, it is that means there are some. So the majority of the stakeholders, the credible stakeholders, not the paid stakeholders, like Manevas Mumba, to come and say, oh, now let's go ahead. When the questions that are arising from the constitution cannot be properly be articulated.
It's not the majority. Again, I refuse.
No, the majority actually. Zambia.
Which majority?
Which majority?
The majority of the people that form the consultative process in the
Okay, can you conclude so that we can tell you what the real facts are?
Your 2 minutes is up. We're going to have Sufia and then Dr. Liswani. So in that order.
All right. So I need to clarify one point. Wakazia, you're talking about the Law Association of Zambia is against it, all the civil society is against it. No, that's not the fact. Let's not mislead our brothers and sisters in Zambia. Let's not mislead Vamayo kwana Goli market or Kubwacha market or Kwachirumba. What's happening is the Law Association of Zambia actually has endorsed it and said, look, there's no problem in having this amendment bill as long as our stakeholders are going to be part of the consultation process. They said it. This was when was this? 9 days ago. Yeah, like last week, if I can call it, last week. They sat down and broke it down and said, This is a good proposition. I think he is talking about a particular clause in the Constitution where if an individual, let's say, he was trying to give an example to say, if me, because I like HH, I stand on a ticket of a president, and then I stop. I say during the course of the elections, I say, oh no, I withdraw. It's going to delay the electoral process. So there's a lacuna. We need to figure it out and see where some people cannot do things like that. Now, what's wrong with somebody bringing up those issues to the forefront? Kubantu abena Zambia, amone abantu akolesa. Ngakwaisa abantu aba crooked. People who don't think, or people who, for lack of a better term, are not valuing the Zambian people. Kuti chavashani. Ine mwina Zambia ne mwina HH. Ndelanda awe bani. Tieni tuweke tuloreshe pali ifunde yaba hapa. Because nga kwa twasanga abantu according to our past, we've learned and we've learned. We have crooked leaders that have led us, especially in the last 10 years. You know, very crooked leaders. They can come back again and say, however, this is what we're going to do. Ero mwina Zambia nomba tampo okulira. If nomba Americans valerira nomba. But Donald Trump tampo okulira nomba. So we want to have a constitution that's driven by the people. Not if Mulela and if we know this. No. This is going to be driven by the people.
By the party.
No. It's going to be driven by the people. Because these are issues that we've presented. No, Montorio, Law Association of Zambia, CSOs are agreeing. The church mother bodies are agreeing. Let's go down. So I don't know where you're getting the information.
Why are you choosing to tell lies?
Antishi uko mulefunya news yenu. Kashinga muleverenga sana news diggers yavena membe. Shishive. Okay?
This has nothing to do with President Membe. This has nothing to do with
news No,
but you don't need to reduce me to that.
No, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying, moneni. Iria shidi di poapa. Iria ku controla nani kane the way these issues are. Na firu bane fintu. We cannot go on living on an old, outdated.
Mole panicking. You are panicking.
No, it depends panicking. It depends. Okay, moneni. Ngatwandika munani kane mo amendment to alandati. Moneni. Before Parliament ends 90 days. I'm a minister, they should do. Okay? So what do we mean? We're meaning that any member of parliament, they should not hold office. Not until yapama elections. So before elections, 90 days before elections, nishi chabi pashan. Anga kwali bambi.
But those things are settled by the court. Buteni. Reloaded.
No. Buteni naliberengere sana. In and out. But butane, effort to allow condemn for Zambia. Now we have UPND members now and nature chonse. Mwari sa mwasina sneaking ama manani kani yambia ya kwebati. Yara tuikata. Yara kumunga wafuafua.
Takuli if you have pangilefi. Number you have at the point.
Avena lungu balevu okuba ba president wa muya ya basa
twayibere tefyo bali chitefyo mufafyo kuleta mu
bali berengere twayimona watu amona.
You have just a
tamwatuchite so na tumimona
tamwatuchite so na tumumona tamwachi if no mulelanda you are not going to do us that way.
This is different.
I submit.
Me too, I submit.
Yeah. Is that my turn now?
It's your turn. We're done to mislead us more. Come.
Chandagazia. Okay. So, to me, the way I look at, I'll start with Nevers Mumba. Nevers Mumba was, for a long time, was a high commissioner in Ottawa. I had the privilege at that time to interact with him. Very, very patriotic man. Very patriotic man. And very smart, business-wise and everywhere else. He was actually in charge of all the ambassadors and high commissioners to Canada. He was their boss in Ottawa. Coming back home, when he was recalled, he's been a type of statesman. I call him a statesman myself. I know some people would not agree with that, but he's a man full of wealth of information and contacts that any politician in our country can utilize. And I know that's the reason why our president is working with him closely, because he's a statesman. He's worked with great leaders around the world. He knows a lot of people, and we can, as a country, still utilize him. We can't deny that fact, that he can still be utilized in our political landscape. So I don't see any reason why we as a ruling party cannot incorporate him in our system and make use of him in terms of advice and the contacts that the wealth of information and contacts that he has. So he's Zambian, he's free to interact with us. I know some people, they call him Musalila Kwakaba and all that. It's okay. But to me, if I were the leader of UPND, I would still welcome any Zambian that I regard as somebody that has wealth or something to contribute to the table. And Nevers Mumba is one of those people. The Kavindele is one of those people that can still contribute to our nation's development. So we welcome all those type of people. I don't welcome people like Ambwiri, GBM, and this other Australian guy. What's the name? The one who came from Australia, Reverend somebody. Those are the real Mukandides, you know. They are coming just to, because they're coming just to. Nevers Mumba is still comfortable. He cannot suffer with or without our party. He's still comfortable. You
are talking about Frankie Wadia?
Yes.
The one who is the presidential advisor.
No, I don't know. It's up to you to define him. I don't know how you came to know about that.
It's there.
No, I'm just trying to say there are some people that can bring things.
He's not a presidential advisor. That's not his.
He's a presidential advisor.
He's just in the media. He's in the media team.
Yeah. So I don't regard Nevers Mumba the same category like I'm with the GBM. Those guys were just after money and just want fame and all that. Nevers Mumba is not like that. He has something to offer, and he's offering that in the alliance he has joined. And the comment about he's very mature in his analysis of stuff. The comment about the amendments, yes, he chose one amendment, which he said he didn't talk about the whole process. He mentioned one. He was very specific. He was saying this thing of saying somebody stands on the registers and then the last minute, if he's gonna just withdraw, the whole thing has to start afresh. And this is gonna bite us in 2026 if we don't change it. We really need to change that. I'm telling you, this so-called what do they call it? Plan B. That could be one of the Plan B.
That is exactly what you guys want.
Listen. We can't, given we the Plan B, what if they use that? Even anyone who wants to frustrate the electoral system in our country right now can frustrate it to the core. You can do that. It doesn't even say how many times you can withdraw. I'm not feeling well. I want to go. Then tomorrow register, again withdraw, again register, and then withdraw. There will be no elections for a long, long time. So that is stupidity in my view, that you're going in an election where you're going and you're saying, anyone that's going to withdraw, remember we have 45 candidates last time, 20-something candidates. So out of that, we can postpone the elections 25 times. It's possible. Mathematically, we can postpone our elections 25 times. If someone, this candidate withdraws, and these small parties we have, very, very minute parties, briefcase parties. All these parties can do it. They'll register and then withdraw, and then we go back to ECZ square one again. The resources that will be wasted. That thing, we can't go in an election with that type of clauses in there. That just withdraw any time and then we start again resubmission of the fresh candidates. So that is okay. It's not. Bill 10, to me, Bill 10 and this bill that we're trying to push in Parliament and stuff like that, they're different, but they have one common similarity, in my view. One common similarity. That common similarity is the political players in both of these bills were trying to sneak in something that's going to advantage them as a political party. They have mixed the good stuff and bad stuff in one bill. And that's what happened with Bill 10. And in my view, this is what's happening with this bill. We need to separate the things that everybody's agreeing with and the things that we can wait and say, okay, these we can do after the elections when we can debate well. But the ones that we need now before the elections, to be honest, is that one where someone can withdraw and the whole election process is called off. That is a stupid thing to have. We don't need that. We don't need that type of thing. We are a civilized nation. We should not have such type of clauses in our constitution. We shouldn't. We should take it out. And that should happen before the elections to avoid this type of thing. All right. But there are some things which everybody agrees with in this bill. And there are some things which are, some people are not agreeing with. For example, breaking the constitution, the constituencies and whatever. That has a little bit hidden motive down there, political hidden motive. Why don't we just go to elections with those things that everybody's agreed upon? And that's the thing that you talked about, laws, the churches and whatever. They are not saying we reject these amendments. They are not saying that. Laws has not said that. Laws has said, this is good, this is good, this is good. This we can do after the elections. That's what they're saying. So it's not saying, no, let's not do it. Let's not do it. Nobody has said that. Even the churches you're talking about, they have said, people, why don't we agree on things we can do now to have nice elections and things we can debate after the election? Because these are the things we're everybody's debating on.
Including me, Dani, for your information. I've not said we can't change the law. I said we can, but later
But you said the laws have refused. The church bodies have refused.
Listen,
they have rejected. You are using the word rejected.
If rejection now to do the change now.
No,
that one
saying,
no.
You are saying the bill has been rejected.
But
yes.
Okay.
That's what you said.
The bill has been rejected.
Can I correct and put it in the right context on this forum before we leave now?
Change your mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I said and what I implied was the first week, last week, when we were conversating on this matter, I started with a preamble, which I'm going to say even today. I said, constitution change and reform process is a welcome move. It is a welcome move. The timing of it is what is wrong. That is what I said.
Can I say that? Lars,
go ahead.
Lars has said the timing is right for that clause that Mumba talked about. That's what Lars said. They didn't. There's no one who has generalized that the whole thing is bad. Nobody. They have said the timing for this one is wrong. For this one is right. This one is right. This one is right. This one is wrong. That's what Lars has said.
But what has government been saying, Dan?
So you are generalizing that the timing of presenting this.
Yes, because I am working from what government is presenting. If you're Muneland, yes, but is it what government is saying that we are going to go with one? Is that what government is saying? Government has never mentioned what we are saying right now. what Laz is saying, what the church is saying, government is not saying that that is what they've adopted. No, they will bring everything to the fore. And that is what is making this process be denied. And while people saying no.
Wakazia, don't confuse the people and confuse yourself at the same
No,
time.
you are the one who wants to confuse yourself, actually.
Anyway, so let me, in conclusion, let me just say this. What we are seeing in our country right now, in terms of people joining, doing all these type of things, becoming alliances and all that, people joining us, we don't. Me, I'm as long as somebody's a Zambian, he has something to offer on the table, I'm not going to say no. But if somebody's like GBM or Cambodia wants to come to us, I would say no because they have nothing to offer. But people like Neighbors will definitely say yes. Okay. The other thing I want to say is this. I think as a country,
Wadan, there is a feedback from your mic. Wadan, there is a huge feedback.
it's not me.
I'm not hearing the feedback. Who else is hearing the feedback?
It's not me. I only have one thing here. That's it. Anyway, if someone has two, a laptop and a computer or something together. So anyway, so that's the thing about this. So this is a politics, what I call politics of poverty, or people just coming to join, trying to take advantage of the other party and all that. But in terms of the bill, to me, that bill has very good things that we need to do before the elections, and there are things that we should do after the elections. I submit.
On that note, shall we go to the final discussion of the day, which is my favorite, the rant. Who wants to go first?
Vakalinda, have you already discussed the Mopani thing?
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that one. Do we even have to talk about that? Let's just.
That's what you like the Pakutampa. But I don't think we. Yeah, I mean, we discussed it.
Yeah, let's just move it on. Yeah.
The Mopani saga, we discussed it.
Oh, in fact, we talked about the riot, which is relating to Mopani.
Exactly.
But you know what? If you want to dive into that one, let's
just let's go. 3 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. Let's just go to the rant. We can take for that.
Okay, I had something to say about the suppliers, but the only quick reaction I can give Kulivadan what he has said is that if government has already lined up people to keep lining themselves in and out, like whenever Smumba promised that he will be one of those who will be bafuma futi babwela bafuma, and if the conscience is correct, let's see how that will help Zambia.
All right, let's go to the rant. Who wants to go first? Who wants to have the first rant of the week?
Let me do my rant and then I run away. I'm about to go somewhere.
You are not running away. You have to listen to what your friends are saying. Why do you want to run away?
Achanda.
Go ahead, Dr. Danny.
I don't know what he has eaten today. To me, my rant that I want to, the only rant I want to say here is one issue. I like the briefings that our government spokesman gives us, Mwetwa. Is it weekly or is it monthly or whatever? Those are very good briefings that the government is giving the people of Zambia. But I have a suggestion as to how I do some briefings to my students here about what's going on in the school and whatever. I receive proposals from the people, my students. What do you want me to talk about? Okay. It is very beneficial for our government spokesman to receive questions from the people. What do Zambians want to hear about how the government is performing? They should have a platform where people can go in and say, we want to hear about this. We want to hear about this. We want to hear about it. It will give us as a ruling party an idea of what people are thinking out there. making our own agenda, making our own questions to answer, and answering them the way we want them to answer ourselves is not helping us as a ruling party. We need to get questions from the audience, and the audience in this case are the Zambian people. So we need to do that. For those press conferences that Mr. Mwepwa is giving, it's a very good idea. People need to know what the government is doing. For example, I've had one question for my government to update me on the status of ambulances. I've not heard from my government about that. Those are some of the questions the Zambians have. Those are things they're discussing in their kitchen tables and dining
I'm
rooms.
very proud of you, Adan, for the first time. Very proud of you.
Why? How you have always been proud of me, I know. So the thing is, we need to do that as a government. We need to get the feedback. We need to know what people want to ask and just answer those questions in that platform. But the idea that Mr. Mwepwa can be coming every time Mwepwa to answer, to explain government policies, what they are doing, and it's a good idea. It should not stop. But let's get questions from the audience, and in this case, ordinary citizens. Thank you. That's my rant.
Oh, great. I love it. How about now we move on to the lady of substance? What's your rant for the week?
Okay, my rant today, I'm going to talk about what I just read on the social media, where some thieves went to slaughter animals and then they were burnt to death.
Oh, yes, that was in my father's backyard.
That is very, very inhuman. That's why we have courts of law. That's why we have jails. You cannot, even if people have gone to steal from your place, you cannot burn them like that. I know it's bad, but I don't know how the owner of the cows is feeling to have let the mob, burn the people like that to death. They even waited for the truck driver to go there so that he can also be burnt to death. Honestly, and we call ourselves a Christian nation. So what is the Christianity there? Bakwibire ng'ombe, imwe mwabepa, mwabocha tu. Yeah, me, I was shocked, and I'm still scared. Mob justice is not good. Let's stop this in Zambia. If everybody is listening, it's not good. As a Christian nation, I don't think Jesus would do that. So Barnabas, being the pastor, should blow a trumpet over this. Thank you so much.
All right. Actually, if you ask your rant.
Well, that's sad. I'm just hearing that for the first time that about Lady Sarah is just mentioning. That's sad. And if that happened, then of course the law will take its course, because Zambia is a land of laws, and we're not led by animals, but we're led by the laws. So everybody that took part in burning of those people obviously will be jailed. So that's how it is. My rant is based on what the president said during the week, last week. He was sort of ranting as well. He was saying, like, look, we've increased CDF in our constituencies, and most of these constituencies have been accessing or have been buying earth-moving equipment. Right? They've bought them. Now, he was asking himself, why are the feeder roads not done if they have the machinery there? And the excuse he got was like, oh, there's no fuel. So he said, okay, fine. Now there's a component in the budget that's going to provide you with the fuel. So he wants to see developmental projects, roads being done in all the constituencies. So that's the thing I wanted just to touch on, because I think it's a very valid point, and I think in most cases we find that when there's an earth-moving equipment bought by the government through CDF, there's so many dubious or uncharacterized events that are going to happen, or people who are the custodian of that equipment. You might find that maybe they renting it out. Who knows? Right? Instead of it being used in what it's supposed to be used, you find that, me, if I've got a farm somewhere, I said, can you, give me something, and then on the weekend, I'll bring them. It will come and grade your road going to your farm. Things like that. So the president is giving a challenge. Me checkmate. If the president react, he's going to, okay, fine. I'm going to give you enough room to hang yourself. Okay? Or enough rope to hang yourself. That's how it is. According to the British law, that's how it is. Okay? So, and then you find somebody, so my rant really is, the government system needs to clean up itself and follow what the president is. Follow the rhythm. Just follow his movement. Follow how he's moving in terms of CDF, in terms of all these economic development issues. And then I'm telling you, Zambia in the next 5 years, oh my God, it will be a marvel. One of the best people already coming here to learn. In case you didn't know, people are coming here to learn on how the governance system is working in Zambia, and they're duplicating it in other countries in Africa. They're coming here to consult, okay, because of the UPND government.
Oh my goodness.
Vakazia will never ever agree to this, but I can tell you, this is a fact. Countries come to Zambia to come and study.
Stop being judgmental, Achanda. Just say what you have to say.
Stop. I've already said it. Thank you.
But don't be judgmental, please.
Lakombe, what's your rant for the day? Did you mute yourself?
Sorry. I'm saying good rant by Chanda and everybody else. I think opening up the bottlenecks is very, very important. CDF is a game changer, and the president spoke in plain language. He wants things moving, and I think immediately he spoke. We saw even the mines minister, hold a video from the Copper Belt where they were calling out the mines. Action has been taken in the mines. I hope this happens throughout government. My rant is might be also a plea, is for the vice president to take up the issue of abuse of children. I think the vice president can be the best candidate to take over this. Please, let's enact laws that will protect our children, our future. It's very nice. This is the time, because we have a vice president who's female, we have a justice minister who's female, we have the minister of community development who's female. The three of them should team up and come up and push for laws in parliament that will protect our girls, our young girls. And maybe just children in general, but especially young girls. They should push these things, enact laws that will protect our children. So this is my plea, especially to the vice president. She can be a game changer. The president is all about changing things. And I think the vice president should look at that and just think about this. You can do something about this. You have the vice president, the minister of justice, the minister of community development, who are all female. This is the time. The time is now. I yield.
Wonderful. Who hasn't spoken? I think we have.
I haven't spoken much.
Oh yeah, Bakasi. Oh,
Let
because it was you went
Wakombe, I
back
want
and
Wakombe to come back on here. Wakombe,
oh,
come back on the picture here. Come back on the camera.
come back. Oh,
Yes.
okay. There you go,
So
Bakasi.
I'm summarizing the I'm
Go.
summarizing the rants
Go ahead.
today. Today
Okay.
I'm not ranting. I'm summarizing the rants.
Okay.
Number one, I want to first of all acknowledge what Wadani said, which I really Wadani adopt that. If we can have that kind of conversation where people ask questions to the ministers and stuff like that, that would be really good, because then people and information will be getting people at the point of need, not where people just think that, oh, I should give them information the way he's thinking. But getting information from the public would be really a good idea. I hope that is taken on board. I really endorse that. But and on the purposes of the issues to do with CDF and what the president said, that I'm very happy as well. For instance, he's given a direction. We've gotten equipment. Now there is fuel. What is the excuse? If your people that are supposed to be implementing this is across the aisle, it doesn't mean that when you are a councillor in UPND and stuff like that, is a call to every Zambian that is in a leadership position that we have procured this. And by the way, everyone else has accepted, including myself, that CDF is a game changer if it is implemented the right way, and that is what we see. We need to see more of that, and also punishment for those that are failing to act. Not, you see, when they are not acting, the person who looks really bad is the president, even when he might have the best intentions around that. So I hope that people are going to jump on that and say it. Now, to also tell you something that he had said earlier, not on this current status, which I agreed with, was that, you see, when you have a dozer sitting at the council and it has done the feeder roads, and the people want to use it, they must pay through the normal channels where the money, the mileage, and everything is paid, because the money is going to go into the council coffers, so that when the machine is used, it is used for the right reasons, and I have actually paid for it, not to come from the back door and say, oh, because I'm a member of this or I'm known, therefore let me have it for the weekend for not paying for it. If we were paying for these machinery, they cost a fortune, so we pay for them so that there is money for service, money for making sure the parts are there, fuel and other things. So I think it is another angle that I think I supported the president then when he said that, and I think it's something that can be actualized if planned properly. Vakombe, what were you talking about? Vakombe was talking about the defilement and the laws and stuff like that. The laws, Vakombe, to be honest with you, the laws are there. We have very stringent laws, but challenges that we have is enforcement. And I can give an example which relates. Let me give you a typical example. If you look at how many social workers are there, to just follow up that, the laws could be there, but how many do we have in terms of social workers that should be able to even follow within Lusaka district itself, at the provincial level itself? I'm thinking that if we increase the capacity, the staffing levels, and then we see what we have, how well we can implement what we have, the laws that we have, and then we can work and build on those gaps that we can see. The first challenge, Bakombe, is that even if we run to do the laws, if we don't back it up with a capacity, I have spoken on this forum that one of the challenges I have is that you employ 40,000 teachers, but we just need 1,000 social workers. Why don't we employ 37,000, 1,000 social workers, 500 labor officers that are in across the country, so that people, when the money is in the constituencies, there is someone monitoring the decent work agenda to make sure that, oh, these people are paid the right wage. They're also contributing into the pension scheme. They're also contributing in the medical scheme and also in the health scheme, so that we create a monitoring mechanism around it. The intentions are good, really good, but then the question is that how do we actualize them? And for me, those are the suggestions that I want to see. I agree with what you have said. We need to stiffen the laws, but even before we stiffen the laws, let's look at how we create a monitoring mechanism and enforcing mechanism that works for the benefit of the people. And also, my last point is that I think we have one Zambia. The issue of fighting, political fights, yes, we can have those and different in terms of divergent views. But when we have a national issue that we have to do, we have to put all together and say, how do we resolve this? Forget about what Wakazia believes in and forget what Wakombe is saying. The issue at hand is that, okay, there is a drought. How do we resolve these matters that pertain to the drought? How can we, what systems can we learn from? What is it that is working? And then we put together. If we put together as Zambians away from these political pushovers, we can do better. So I definitely agree with you. The summary you gave, Wakombe, I agree with you what you said. Wadani, what you said, I definitely adopt that and I submit.
Na wakazia basta agree parasta.
If you muyaya fye nanda kane efyo because
All
atukire
right.
nda palifo kona ula ma leaders you konga twala bapere avyo
That's true.
kobona ula
Great,
You're right.
great. Okay. On that note, as for me, my rant is just to say congratulations to the under 17.
And to me, Wakalinda, to me, you should also congratulate me.
Oh, and to
How
you,
can I give such a
Wakazia.
summary and you don't congratulate me?
Congratulations,
Yes.
Wakazia.
Thank you.
But I wanted to, while I'm congratulating Wakazia, I also want to give a big congratulations to the under 17 men's team. For the first time, they have qualified to the World Cup, FIFA World Cup.
That's good.
Yeah, in Qatar. So
Goodness.
a big one for us. Yeah, I think it's
That's
the
good.
first time we're sending a team, any team whatsoever, to that tournament. So they beat Uganda 2-1 today. And of course, Liverpool walked alone today. Thank you, Fulham. Thank you, Fulham.
Yeah, very good follow. Wastonani kan.
But to our viewers, until next week, we'll be back. And just like always, keep the faith. We are out.